Hello everyone and welcome back to the Deep Blue. I am sorry for being so late, but also I am not here because I am not there because I am here instead. Hello, welcome back to the Deep Blue. I'm so sorry, I have my proper reasons as to why I'm late, okay? Male Dolphin, thank you for the follow on Twitch side. Weren't you watching on YouTube side the other day? But yeah, it was traffic. It took me almost 2 hours to get home today due to the traffic, and I had to have dinner and everything, and I also had to handle some laundry right before stream, so thus I'm sorry that I'm a little bit late. But welcome back to the Deep Blue, everyone. I am Noira, the sea fox who serves the life talks on the rocks, and it's good to have you familiar faces, familiar names, and also new ones back here at the Deep Blue. And thank you for your patience with me being late. It doesn't happen often, I'd like to think that I'm quite prompt when it comes to streams, but every once in a while it happens. And yes, I am still kind of a little bit sick, unfortunately. But how are you guys doing? Let me see. Let me see your chat. Actually, I wanted to use lip balm. Let me do that real quick. Hold up. I don't think the model tracks me using lip balm. But today I have whiskey, and I also have a surprise for you guys. You guys want to see? I added a new thing to my model. Watch this. I have a whiskey in my hand. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Yeah. So we have this new thing on the model, and it looks nice. Yes, finally. You know why? It's because I could not find a single thing that lets me have whiskey at all. Like, look at how HD the whiskey is. It's crazy. But like, I couldn't find an asset for like a hand holding a whiskey at all. So I'm like, hey, mama, can you help me and give me a whiskey holding hand? And thus I can make it accurate like so. Yeah, that's how it is. Except, I just noticed there's no ice in it, but it's enough. It's okay. It's fine. I'll take a sip of whiskey first before we start. Cheers, guys. Cheers. I haven't had whiskey in a very long time because I was sick, right? I was sick for like 3 weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe in total. And then I didn't have whiskey when I was in Japan either. I had beer mostly because beer in Japan is really good and really cheap. And so this is my first taste of, that's a lie actually. That's a lie. I just remembered that I went to a friend's wedding and just like downed so much whiskey to the point that I got really hangover the day after. And yes, I also downed like 12 seconds of whiskey straight from the bottle. That's a lie. So I haven't had whiskey in 2 weeks. It's not 3 weeks. Maybe it's 1 week and a bit. Maybe not even 2 weeks. It's one week and a half, mayhaps. But sorry, give me a sec. I need to cough. I'm still a little bit sick, unfortunately. Anyway, regardless, let me greet you guys first here at the Deep Blue. I see that the first is Jason. Congratulations, Jason, on being the first. Followed up by Ikasin, not quite the first, and Kyle the third, Zoe the fourth, and Sven the fifth. Welcome back to the Deep Blue, guys. I also see Magic Attacks on YouTube side, and also Sheena, of course, Mythos, Tyrannus, and Discount Chatter, Ray. Also, I see Sly. Ayo, I like cheese. Wapper. Sven. Airmail Dolphin, of course. And Ariashiki, Shirayuki, and Munero. And Gyrosen. Did I miss anyone? Let's talk about it. Centipede. Who else do I see? John Joku. Did I miss anyone? No, I think that's everyone. Oh, Kazuki Ken. Sibatsu art in your post was fire. Yeah, Sibatsu is so good. Did you guys see my recent post? Sibatsu makes such great art. I was like, when I was about to commission Sibatsu, who is like the artist of that art, the one where the age of redacted is in demand. Yeah, I was like, I wanted to commission him because I found him from like, I don't remember where I found him from, and I'm like, oh, he draws really good. And then I realized, oh my god, he follows me? That's fucking crazy. The fact that some of the artists that I want to commission already follow me, like, that's such whiplash to me. Because I'm like, I'm really not that famous or that big. So I think the chance of someone following me is quite small. So I was quite surprised. But yeah, I'm very thankful. The art is very nice indeed. But yes, isn't the age that you can't ask of in demand? That's why you guys are here, right? For ladies who are possibly always older than you and mayhaps maybe even ancient / or immortal. That's why you guys are here, right? For the women who maybe were even born before men set foot on earth. Is that your type? Is that the kind of anime lady you watch on the internet that you like? Mama Dejas, welcome to the Deep Blue. Yes, the ancient women. We shall not speak of age to our oneesan. Yes, you can only call me oneesan, and age does not matter. All you guys need to know is that regardless of how old you are, I'm always older than you guys. That's all that matters, right? I mean, how else do I get to spew the wisdom that I spew? Anyway, welcome back to the Deep Blue, guys. Today is the proper day where we get to talk after my vacation, since we didn't really get to yap much whilst we play Where Winds Meet, which is surprising because I thought we'd be able to yap a little bit more, but apparently not. And thus here we are. I need advice. Just broke up with my girl of 2 years. What do I do now? Do whatever you can to explore life and enrich your life. If you find the reasons to, or kind of just deliberately look for things to do or things to find inspiration or wonder in, you can. There are so many things that we don't know about life, and learning about something new and exploring something new can bring such new joy and wonder to your life. Such as when try a new hobby, go out more, try meeting strangers, try talking to strangers, try, I don't know, gardening, try these new hobbies, and maybe one of these will spark some wonder into you, and some things that will momentarily at least let you forget about your breakup just a tad, because of course breakups can be sad, right? But according to psychological studies, they say that the best way to treat suppose that these are not my words, this is according to research and everything, right, like that, right? So if you have like possible depression or some sorts of that stuff, like mentally you're not there, let's just put it that way, right? You're just feeling shitty as hell. There are a few ways you could go about it. One is to distract yourself, and the other one is to go into problem-solving mode. And yeah, that's really what it is. At the end of the day, that's really what it is. Either you find ways to objectively solve whatever the hell it is, your feelings and the core problem of it, or you find ways to distract yourself. I have a video about it. It's called "You Know You're Not Supposed to Think About It, Then What?" I think that video may help, so you can check that out. I actually don't particularly remember what I said in the video, but I'm pretty sure I have shitty memory, okay? But I'm pretty sure I trust myself in saying that my general advice is always like, learn to distract yourself, especially if you already objectively have decided that you shouldn't be thinking about this thing. Then you find ways to distract yourself from that thought. And it's harder than a lot of people think, because feelings are just a reflexive sort of thing. It's an instinctual thing, right? And you know, it's not something that's really within your control. So being able to go against what you feel and make decisions that are based on your objective and logical thought to kind of distract yourself and know that you shouldn't think about it, and thus find reasons to not think about it, is a very tough feat. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Irina, thank you for the hydrate. I'll drink some whiskey. Traffic was so horrible today. And whiskey is so good. What else is new? I'm in my 50s, officially old enough to know better. Oh my god, are you officially our oldest titling here in the room? I don't think anyone's as old as you. I think one of our older titlings is like 40 years old, I believe. You may be officially our oldest titling yet. You might deserve an award for that. But yeah. If you guys have things where you know you shouldn't think about, or you know that you shouldn't ponder on too much, you can check the video that I posted about that. Anyway, let me sit down a tad. Hold on, let me bring you guys to the shrine so I can kind of sit myself down and calibrate my model tad. Good morning, Ghost of Mint and Space Marine. Hi, Sporty and love botany and making dream catchers. I love that. That has such a whimsical appeal, and that's so cute and wonderful. I love that for you, Charles. I love that our Space Marine makes dream catchers and does botany. Isn't that amazing? Take inspo from our Space Marine, guys. The guy who has 3 lungs. Hold on, let me calibrate my model. Okay, I'm good. Let's come back to it. Noira's beautiful model is a word enough for me. Oh, stop it too, but thank you. Thank you for complimenting me thus much. You know, I did weightlifting today. Like, there was like this weightlifting session. It's kind of like, what do you call them? F41, is that what you guys call it? It's like a circuit, but not really. But it's like this session where you kind of challenge yourself to weightlifting. I did that today, and I accidentally pulled a muscle, and now every once in a while I get like a sharp shooting pain through my head. Like, I get like this weird shooting pain from the back of my head because I pulled a neck muscle. It sucks. Have any of you guys actually experienced that before? Actually, did you guys know that your occipital muscles, aka the back of your neck, can kind of be the core problem to some of your migraines and headaches? Yeah, it's pretty fucking annoying. So I was considering of taking some ibuprofen so that I can make it through stream, but I'm like, oh, it's not too bad. Whiskey will probably solve it. I'll be okay. That's what I thought. And plus, I don't want to have to like take ibuprofen and then drink alcohol, because that's probably a quite bad decision. It can be quite rough on my digestion, on anyone's digestion, on anyone's stomach lining. So I was thinking, yeah, maybe not. What if you knighted them as the elder knightly titling of the deep blue? Mayhaps. You would have to join Discord first, though. I only knight people who are on Discord. At least on Discord, and better if on Reddit. Ibuprofen is my jam. I wish I had stock in an ibuprofen company. Ibuprofen is great, honestly. It's especially great for period pains. So hey, life hack, guys. If your girlie gets period pains and she's tried everything except ibuprofen, she should try ibuprofen. Because that was me for like a long while. I tried everything, and ibuprofen was the magic that worked for me. Some period pains can be very painful, so be sure to spoil your girlies if they're going through some period pains. Or spoil your VTubers if they're going through period pains. Talking about VTuber, hold on, let me drink. I'm drinking from the glass Jason bought me, by the way. Thanks, Jason, for buying me the glass to replace my broken whiskey glass that I accidentally pushed over the table. Thank you, Jason. So there's a Twitch recap, right? There's a Twitch recap. Who'll be the streamer that you guys watched most? Oh, there's also a YouTube recap. Am I on it somewhere? I would like to know. You know, it's okay if you guys cheat on me. It's okay if I'm not your main Oshi or Kami Oshi. It's totally fine. But like, I want to know. I'm curious. How's your recap looking? I think I'll just call you Airmail if that's okay, Tim. It's probably easier for me to remember because unfortunately I have really shitty memory. I've caught a cold with my neck last week, and it was... How do you catch a cold with your neck? I've actually never experienced that, I think. But I tried to tilt my head right. Are you sure you didn't pull a nerve instead? Probably I caught it because my neck was sweating and a wind got it through scalp. I don't know if that's how it works, but I know what you mean. In Indonesian, we have a term that is scientifically unproven. But we say masuk angin, which means enter wind, aka wind has entered our body. It's like, you know, yeah, wind has entered our body and then makes you feel shit. Like you feel kind of feverish, you feel cold, you get a cold, you get runny nose and shit like that. Basically, you feel shit. That's enter wind. So I understand where you're coming from. It's probably something like that, eh? Hi, Okami. Got the theme right. Sea Fox, right? Because, man, I've been drowning in those beautiful eyes of yours. Aww. Thank you, Kami. You guys with your compliments. You guys are very sweet. Another muscle group you don't think you'll use that much is your abdominal area. Appendix rupture back in high school and it's such restraining how to get up without using the abs. Ooh, that sounds horrible. But yeah, the core is very important for a lot of things, even for breathing. The core is really the core of the body. So if you have a weak core, it can actually affect a lot of things, including your balance. So be sure to train your core, guys. Oh my god, this stupid shooting pain going through my head. I hope drinking enough will solve it. Or that you can have common cold happen in the other parts of the body, like your knee. What do you mean? How does that happen? How do you have a common cold in your knee? It could just be... I don't... At least not that I know of, but I don't think there is any medical science that goes into catching a cold to other... catching cold to a cold to different parts of the body. Or specific parts of the body. If anything, I'm thinking that they say those things because they don't know what it is and it's just a catch-all sort of term. Thus you say, oh yeah, I caught a cold in this part of my body and everything like that. But I could just be, you know, these are my personal opinions. My biggest streamer I watched got a Google Doc dropped on her and then disappeared off the map. It happens. It does. Unfortunately. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, these sort of things happen a lot in the VTuber sphere. And I have no comment about it because... Though my general thought is that... Don't you guys kind of miss the days when you could make mistakes and not get it aired out in public? You know what I mean? I kind of feel like I'm kind of lucky where I kind of grew up in an age where I could do mistakes growing up and be a stupid ass youngling and fuck up every once in a while and not get cancelled. And from there I could actually, you know, have some kind of growth and retrospect from it and learn from it. But nowadays in the age of cancel culture, you can't really do that as much. You really have to be mindful about how you act, meaning you're prone to avoid mistakes and you're very scared of making mistakes, which is, to put it into perspective, in the startup world or in like Scrum methodology or like mostly Scrum, Agile framework, which is like basically usually used in tech companies to kind of manage projects and mostly like programming projects and development. It is one of the core philosophies is to make mistakes as fast as possible and as efficient as possible and then recover from it and iterate from it and then learn from it. So as you can see, think about it. If you're afraid of making mistakes, wouldn't that hamper your growth as a person and your learning process? I don't know if it matters. I don't know how much cancel culture actually kind of stunts that supposed process of that learning loop, I guess, of failing and making mistakes. Hello, am I back? Oh my god, hello? Do you guys see me? Hello? Refresh! My internet died. What the fuck? My internet died for like a split second. What the fuck was that? God damn. Anyway, sorry, let me read your chat. It just had to die during a yap, dude. My YouTube recap wasn't bad. 2 VTubers made my top 3. Hey, not bad at all. Listening in while at work. Have a good one, Penguin. Hope you're having a great day at work, or at least a decent day. And you'll be less likely to get a hernia with strong cold. That too, yeah. The days before internet and smartphones were better in that regard. I grew up in the best time to be a kid and worst time to be an adult. That's one way to look at it. Now, if you make mistakes, someone is going to post it online and it stays there forever. Honestly, it's not that bad if you're not like a, you know, if a majority of your life is not online, aka you're not that chronically online, for a lack of better wording, the cancel culture wouldn't really apply to you as much. Or if you don't like have to have a, or if you don't have a following, let's say, it's not as bad, because I think if you're not on the internet much, you're kind of immune to cancel culture. It pretty much has no effect on you, or not as much of an effect on you. But the cancel culture can affect more people who are, you know, more online. And the thing is, like, the younger generations, the current generations that's growing up, they're of course born into the age of the internet, and thus they're online. Like, I had a talk with one of my cousins a while back, and my nieces and nephews, like the children of that cousin, are kind of already, you know, they've gone to uni already. They're like, what's 18, going 19 maybe, and they're saying how the kids don't seem to prefer having offline interactions with people. Like, it's almost as if, I'm not saying that this is the truth, but they say, like, it's almost as if they have this thought where, I already have online friends, what for do I need offline friends for? You know, so they don't prefer offline interactions, rather they prefer to go home and, you know, chat with their friends online. And that's the point I'm trying to say, is that the younger generation are definitely much more online. And it's not that it's an inherently good or a bad thing, but I would think that it also means that they're more exposed to cancel culture. Sorry, let me catch up with chat. Really depends on our mistakes, and sometimes you need those repercussions depending on what you did to really understand how badly of a mistake you made. I mean, I understand that, but also I mean, there is some good to cancel culture. It adds us some additional accountability for things that might have not, like, flew by so easily back then. Oh no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there is some good to cancel culture. You end up like you mentioned, adding some repercussions, but also there are just, this is a subjective point of view from my side, but I really do think that some things are just not meant to be aired publicly. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to, say, your personal relationships with people, and you fucking up relationships with people. These sort of things, I feel like, because the thing is, let's be real, people make mistakes. Sometimes it's not because of vile intentions, or it's not out of malice. It's mostly maybe because, one, they don't know what to do with their feelings. 2, they don't know any better. 3, they're ignorant. Or 4, they just never realized. These sort of things, you know, it's usually out of, I wouldn't say ignorance. Sometimes it's also out of just naivety, or just, like I mentioned, not knowing any better. I do feel like in general, it's rarely that they want to hurt someone. I'm like that sort of person who believes in the good in people, honestly. And I do feel that when people fuck up, usually it's not out of intentional malice. Usually it's because, most of the times, it's because they don't know any better. And they never grew up or experienced or been exposed to an environment or an experience where they weren't supposed to do that, or they were taught to not to do that. Good morning, Zach. Noira's the only VTuber who's worth interacting with? Nah, come on. That's not true. There are great VTubers out there, and it really depends on what you guys are looking for. If you're looking for life talks, you can come to me. If you're seeking for hilarious entertainment or like people who rage and flip their tables, you can also look for other content creators. It's a matter of what you guys feel like watching, right? Cashew, thank you for being 4 months of titling. Thank you. Drinking, yes, I am drinking some whiskey. And Kreshka, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. I think it's really important to be brave when it comes to mistakes, because you don't even know how fatal it is until you try. Yes, when you're afraid, it just stops you and you miss valuable experience without making mistakes. I've mentioned this slightly before. Actually, I mentioned it in my recent video essay about how I kind of used to be a dick because like I was kind of naive and, you know, kind of ignorant with a lot of things because I did not really, prior to meeting some people, I wasn't really experienced in life. I didn't really get much of variety in life to experience many different things in life and meet many different kinds of people until I met a certain set of people, and they were so different to me that I had a lot of catching up to do, and like some of the things I said and did was just kind of tone deaf, and I had to learn from that. And thankfully these people were, I would say, kind enough to kind of tell me if I was being a dick. I'm really thankful for that, honestly, because I don't think, it's not as if like all the dickish things I did and all the mistakes I did that you could probably label me as being a horrible person. It's not as if I did it out of malicious intent. It's mostly because I just didn't know better and I was just a naive fuck. That's why I can kind of, you know, I guess I have some empathy towards cancel culture in that regard. Chaotic! Absol, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. Did you order any food? No, but I've already had dinner. The cancel part is the issue. Hold yourself responsible for your actions and move on, and everyone worth knowing will move on too. I will say this. This is the second content creator that I watched a lot that got cancelled. First one was a criminal, and I hope he's still. What the fuck? What? Holy shit. Wow. But like the thing is, like, I'm talking about this whole cancel culture thing in a general sort of sense, you know? Like I mentioned previously, I mean, there is some good to cancel culture, like the repercussions, and we get to catch things earlier and hold people accountable more when maybe back then we wouldn't be able to do so as much. There's good in that, but also, yeah, I think certain personal relationships, stuff that involves personal relationships, or like someone doing someone bad that isn't particularly a crime, I feel like those sort of things shouldn't be cancel culture stuff. But then it's hard because these sort of things are very subjective, right? But as a general statement, I think that's what I think, yeah. Instead of canceling, we need accountability. If they mess up, they should be given a chance to fix their mistake. Yeah, I believe in character development, man. I really do. Because, well, I'm someone who also grew from character development. Like I mentioned before, the little story I gave you guys just now. I didn't just suddenly evolve into this sea fox who's suddenly wise, right? I mean, I'm still a work in progress myself. But, yeah, I mean, I think one thing that humans are really good at, and one of the reasons why we're able to evolve so much and have so many innovations and, you know, have such enriched civilizations compared to, say, other animals and everything like that, is because humans are adaptable, meaning we can adapt and we can grow. Sure, some people say people don't really change. I'd like to digress. It depends though. There are some people who don't really change much because of, say, maybe they're narcissistic, or maybe, they have other problems going on. But in general, I do believe that character development is an option and it's a real thing, and that people can adapt and people can eventually be better. Let me catch up here. Oh my god, I missed out on so much chat. I've been discussing with a friend of mine why people act mean and unfriendly, and I came to the conclusion that people usually doing something wrong because they're just defending themselves. What do you mean? They're just defending themselves? Mean? Do you mean like people being mean in general? Cancel culture made me choose a certain food, like syrup and pancake mix was my go-to now, but no, it's like cancel culture and the whole pineapple on pizza shit. Yeah. How many VTubers are tipsy? I don't know how many VTubers are tipsy. I think VTubers drink quite a lot, no? Mistakes also help you grow and learn. We are all only human after all, and so we all make mistakes. Yeah, of course, mistakes and character development and growing from it. But the thing is, like, growing and learning from your mistakes requires humility. So if humility is out of the window, there's much less chance of growth happening. Such as, like I mentioned, like if someone's like has some narcissistic disorder, it's very much more difficult to have hope in them changing or becoming a better person, you know what I mean? And also, on the other hand, when we're saying like becoming a better person, right? Some people think it this way, where they're like, if I become a better person, then I'm doing it for other people and not for myself. I just want to be myself. I want to love myself. Just be yourself, they say. Why should I compromise for other people? I live and die for myself. Yes, but also no. Which is also the recent clip that I put out, where you should also you should love yourself, but not really. You should love yourself with humility. Because as much as we want to love ourselves and, take pride in ourselves as a person and, be a little bit selfish, it's nothing wrong with that. But there is much wisdom that comes from being aware of the fact and acknowledging that we live in a society with other people, and humans are quite the social creatures. So there is some merit and benefit to kind of, assimilating with society and thus making certain alterations or adaptations to whatever you have as a person, improving on yourself for the sake of that. But yeah, that's love yourself, but not really, guys. Humility is very important. I believe in character development. People just really need the right people or situation for that change to start. Yeah, and the right experiences as well. Because it's like when you go to a raid, right? When you make a pug raid group, and there's like this newbie who just joined the raid for the first time, and then they fuck up. I mean, can you really be mean to them and blame them? It's like, oh, why are you so shit? You really can't, right? I mean, if it's their first time doing the raid and they've like studied all they can, but still the real experience is different. You know what I mean? I feel like there are some things that you just can't blame on people or be mad at people's. So what am I trying to fucking say? What I'm saying is that for me personally, I feel like it's just not right for you to get angry at some people when they haven't had the right experiences to cater to your expectations. You know what I mean? It's just an it is what it is thing. Like, we're all humans. We come from different parts of the world, different cultures. We grew up differently with different parents and different set of family. And it's just, I think, unrealistic to expect that everyone can kind of meet your expectations and get fucking angry at everyone who doesn't. There needs to be some kindness and empathy in there somewhere, I feel like. Thank you for the hydrate, Jason. I'll balance my whiskey drinking with water because I'm wise like that. Sorry, let me catch up with chat. Someone starts to yell at people because they see that they have no control of a situation. Someone rush other people for the same reason. I think that's hard to say. I think that's hard to say. But I do think that in general, when you see that, I think if you live your day to day, you realize that people aren't that angry. But the internet makes you think that people are angry all the time. But sometimes you might be in certain environments where it seems like everyone is angry and frustrated at something, and they always just fucking mean to each other. I have been there before, and it was mostly because I wasn't focusing. I was spending most of my time on things that didn't really matter to me at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's somewhat like I was coping against the burnout. That was the time where I was like the most angriest person on my day-to-day, which I did not like. But once I figured that out, I got rid of that. I stopped being angry and everything like that. I mean, if life always fucks you over, you're bound to be always angry and frustrated, right? Yeah, that's just why. I think that's why like a lot of people can seem very mean and always in a rush and maybe always frustrated for some fucking reason that we don't know, because they feel like life's always fucking them over, and they're not spending their time on the things that matter to them. Not because they don't want to, but because either they haven't had the time to explore that option, or they don't even know that that was an option, or they don't even know what matters to them. These sort of things. Hi Trix, how are you? A person has their own set of thought and ideas, and those ideas can boost any little problem to huge scales. Start to do something weird out of being scared and confused. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like, a person has their own set of thoughts and ideas. That's values. No, I think what you're mentioning there, Kyle, is a value sort of thing. Like, someone has a certain opinion, and then someone has a differing sort of opinion, and then both of them start kind of arguing against each other, and then suddenly it becomes a personal sort of thing, right? I think that's what you're talking about. Usually it's either it's a combination of ego and values. Like, they probably offended one of them. I think that's what it is. Get out what we put in. Alright, you've been doing a lot of work on the Minecraft server, Hasteman. For you guys who don't know, we have a Minecraft server at the Deep Blue. So if you're a member on YouTube, or if you're subscribed on Twitch, you can get access to it by joining Discord, and you'll find out all the required information to gain access to the server. Do check it out and join in. I think it's... the titlings have been working very hard on improving the world of New Fortune City on Minecraft. Anyway, I've been meaning to talk about my Japan trip, right? Well, certain parts of it, I guess. I want to at least like kind of talk about, well, yeah, a lot of things happened. Even though it wasn't like the ideal experience, because I mentioned before, I was traveling with some more elderly people, and thus I didn't really get to go do as much as I wanted to, but it was fun. I think I've noticed that I've been having a knack of talking to strangers lately. Like, I have like this, if I see someone sitting alone or like within close proximity to me, for some reason I've been having like this compulsion to talk to them. You know, I'm once again reminded of my ex. It's crazy, he's an ex, but like there are certain things that stick with me, you know. Like, he always said that, you know, if there's a stranger sitting alone or someone who's working alone, you talking to them and just making small talk and just joking around with them could honestly make their day. It could be something small that's not even a minute long, like it might even take like 1 or 2 minutes of your time, but it could make their whole day. And yeah, I guess I've been doing that more recently, and I think it's also because I give less of a fuck of like what could happen if I talk to this random person, and thus I just do that now. So when I was in Japan, I talked to, you'll be surprised. And the best way to do these sort of things is like when you're on travels, right? When I was in Japan, when I went to a beer place, I was like talking to this guy who was like, I was paying at the cashier, and this guy was sitting alone, and I just made small talk with him. And I found out that he was a fucking archaeologist. Isn't that crazy? Have you guys ever met an archaeologist? I had the longest fucking talk with him about like historical findings and archaeology shit. It was so fucking fun. It's really cool. See, I feel like when you talk to a stranger, sure, sometimes you might have a chance of having a shitty experience with them, a small chance of it, but you have a higher chance of having a very cool, interesting POV from them instead. So, let me catch up with chat here. With the huge Noira mural? Wait, what huge Noira mural? What are you talking about? And the best thing you can do for someone who did wrong. It's really hard, but I believe this is the only way for us. I feel like forgiving is not the only option. The other option is just forgetting and ignoring, or like forgetting it ever happened. I'm very good at forgetting stuff. I don't think I'm not really someone who forgives, but it's more like, whatever. I'm more so that person. Like, I just don't care anymore. I think that nonchalance, it goes a long way for me. Aussies are not that open to strangers. Are you crazy? When I was in Australia, in Sydney at least, I think like I met the most welcoming and open people there. Like, if anything, I feel like my time in Australia, it was like the time where I could just talk to strangers the most. You know what I mean? Wait, what mural and where? Are you talking about Minecraft? Well, yeah, archaeologist. And it was like telling me about like he had to do some work in... I don't think I'm allowed to talk about the details because he told me that it was like, NDA. So I can't divulge it much. But like he showed me a mummified hand and I thought like that was the cutest, not cutest? Wrong adjective, Noira. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. It was like showing me like mummified parts of the human body that's like at least 50, 80 years old. And I'm like, that's so fucking cool. No, maybe more. 50, 80, maybe 100? Yeah, something like that. Huge statue of you on the server? Wait, since when? When was this built? What? The fuck? I didn't even know there was like a statue of it. I have not logged into the Minecraft server for a while. So I do not know of these progressions. God damn. 100%. Some of my best experiences while bus riding to uni was when a random stranger just started talking to me. I did get robbed twice though. Oh shit. Really got the full scale in a short time. Yeah, it really is 50-50. But of course, like, be street smart and everything like that, right? Be aware of your surroundings. So, yeah, be aware of your surroundings. But yeah, talking to strangers in general, I think is fun. I think it's when, you know, the time and place allows, it's quite an experience. Like, another time, I had the best crepe in Japan, by the way. It was in Kyoto. Yeah, it was in Kyoto, which is like unexpected, right? But I had the best crepe when I was in Kyoto. And anyway, when I was there was like this guy sitting next to me and he was eating the crepe. And I was like, hey, which one did you get? Is it good? And he's like, oh, it's so good. And he told me he was French. The crepe shop that we went to was run by a Japanese guy. The guy eating was French, and he was like the smiliest French I've ever met. He was so smiley. Like, he was so happy. I'm like, what the fuck? I I've never met such a happy French. And he was like telling me that he's a creper. He makes crepe. What do you call someone who makes crepes? But basically, he works at a creperie and makes crepes in France. He does it for a living. And he said that the galette here, the savory crepe here at this crepe shop is like the best he's ever had. And I'm like, shit, damn. And then I tried the crepe and I understood why. It was so good. The creperie, I don't know, man. My only knowledge of, do I know any French? Yes, I do know like 1 or 2 French people, and none of them are that smiley. So my only knowledge of French people are like those 1 or 2 friends that I have had limited interactions with, acquaintances even, and Expedition 33. I don't really meet many French people, but from the internet and what the internet says, I was like, oh, probably French people aren't that smiley. And then I met this guy and he was like so fucking smiley and so happy. He had a very thick French accent as well. And I'm like, I was like thinking of how cute he was. Yeah, crepe. Creeper? No, that's Minecraft. But yeah, crepe. It's really good. It's so good. Must be the good butter. Oh, sorry. The good butter and flour making them happy. I don't know. But like, he was so proud. It was so happy that this crepe place that we were at in Kyoto was very very authentic, because I believe they use buckwheat flour. And apparently he told me how the guy who cooked it, who was like cooking in the kitchen the crepe for us, making the crepe for us, the owner of the establishment, apparently he went to the UK and then learned how to make crepes there or something like that, from like a legit creperie place or something like that. I don't remember the details. I have shit memory, but I thought that was like such a fun experience anyway. I know Gustav and others from Expedition 33. Yeah. Oh, Gustav, my love. Yeah, interesting stuff in my travels. I do think that, I think with all of my travels, I think my best experiences and most memorable moments usually are when I talk with strangers, such as when I hiked in New Zealand. And for some reason, when people hike and they're going through it together, like, it's fucking tiring. You're going through shit and you're thirsty as hell. Basically, if you're going through a difficult time together, for some reason humans get friendlier with each other. So I went hiking in New Zealand and I also went trailing, right? So for you guys who don't know, the difference between hiking and trailing is that hiking is usually a little bit more strenuous. Like, you hike up an elevation, like a mountain or something like that. Whilst trailing is a little bit more light. Like, it can be elevated, but not as crazy. It's not as straining as hiking. So when I hiked / trail, it wasn't much of a difficult hike, but it was still like a fucking really high mountain. It was very tiring, and everyone was so friendly with each other, and everyone talked to each other and would like greet each other, be like, hey, good morning, are you okay? It's like, how's it going? And just make small talk. And I met like a few people. I met like a Dutch guy, and I met like a couple who I don't know where they were from, but we had a good talk and everything like that. People just talked to each other a lot. And people were cheering for each other too for the hike. And that was very wholesome. And then like a few days later, I went trailing, which was a much easier thing. People weren't friendly with each other. Because it was a very easy trail. They didn't even say good morning or like, hey, how are you? Or people didn't even greet each other at the trail. Probably because it was too fucking easy. So my theory is that in the face of difficulties, humans kind of tend to be friendlier with each other. Do you guys have an experience like that? Do you guys think that rings true? What kind of crepe did you get? I got 2 crepes because it was so good. The first one I got was, what was it? Oh, there was an orange and chocolate one. That one was so good. And the second one I got was just caramel. Yeah, I think it was just caramel. Salted caramel? Caramel? I think it was just caramel. You mentioned you traveled with older crowd. Did you ever go to the botanical gardens in Japan? I went to the Shinjuku Gyoen, the Shinjuku Gardens, National Gardens or something. It was so beautiful because whilst I was there, it was still autumn, right? Although it was like the tail end of autumn. But yeah, I made it like, because the foliage was really pretty when I was in Japan, I made it like a point to go to like a lot of parks and see a lot of foliage. So yes, I did. Oh, I posted a picture on it on Twitter. If you guys actually follow me on social media, I posted one picture of Shinjuku Garden there. I always thought hiking was a normie exclusive activity. What do you mean by that? People get friendlier because they're being forced to survive. Maybe there's like some intrinsic instinctual thing that be like, hey, if you're going through shit, find other people and be friendly with other people. If you're going through physically hard stuff, then talk with other people. Orange and chocolate was so good. It was amazing. And it's true because that's a really common thing in military training. Yeah, I guess it's somewhat like a sense of camaraderie. It's like, you know, when you go through shit together with friends or something, like if you survive like crazy exams together, or like say you survive some vtuber drama together, I don't know, usually you get a better sense of camaraderie out of it, right? Sounds like what Dark Souls has been trying to teach us without the gatekeeping. Really? I don't know. I think that's an interesting thing, and I wonder if there's like research or science behind it. Oh no, I've almost finished downing my whiskey. I don't want to drink too much though. I have basketball early morning tomorrow. Oh yeah, fun stuff. The travels were fun. And yeah, I found out that my Japanese is pretty decent this time around going to Japan. That was interesting. I did not expect that. I thought my Japanese was really bad, but I think it's good enough to get around. And I've noticed something as well. As of recently, I feel like I've been more settled in with myself, if that makes sense. Of course it comes with age and everything, but it's particularly recently, like I think like the past month or so, I've been very much more settled in with myself. Like I don't really doubt myself when I do things anymore, nor do I overthink it. Like if I want to talk to someone, I'll talk to someone. If I want to do something, then I'll do something. Like I give less of a fuck of what other people think, I guess, in a sense. Or I give less of a fuck of things that have a really small chance of happening badly. I just do it. And I really enjoy that. Like I mentioned, like one of it being like talking to strangers. The other just being really just how I talk with my other friends. And for example, I'm trying to organize a Christmas dinner with a few friends of mine, and I haven't really done that for a very long time because like you have thoughts like, oh, what if they can't come, or what if the party is shit and everything like that, you know, what if I organize a shitty Christmas dinner. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I mean, I can do it. Nothing's stopping me. Why don't I? I think I'm just trying to I feel like I have more control over my life, if that makes sense. I feel like back then, I didn't do a lot of things because I overthought it. When really, such as, I've always enjoyed, for example, having like group settings and inviting people over and having them hang out. But I've never done like, I've never arranged proper gatherings such as a dinner party or something like that. Because I thought too much, or like I had some weird mental blocks where it's like, I don't know, man, is it kind of weird? Or what if they think it's kind of weird? Or is it a bit too much? But as of recently, I'm like, yeah, nah, fuck it. If I want to do it, I'll do it. Stop giving a shit about the outcome pretty much. I mean, I still give a shit about the outcome, But I think I'm more realistic with it, with like, you know, the chance of the outcome being bad is unlikely. And also, is there really that much to lose? I think there is more chances to gain rather than to lose. So yeah, I've just been more I've just been taking action more. I don't know, but yeah, it's a weird sense of peace of mind and confidence. Believe it or not, this space marine has the skills to shape trees and shrubs into the swans and rabbits you see at those botanical gardens, and I can make bonsai plants too. Bonsai! Aren't bonsais really difficult? Hi Night Shadowblade, how are you? I think that just comes naturally with age. Maybe, but I do feel like somehow that for some people it comes more early to them. Like for me, not so early, but it's a gradual sort of thing. But I do think that if you happen to be experiencing life a little bit faster than, say, me, for example, I think there is a chance that this sort of phase where you kind of just settle into yourself and have more confidence in yourself can come to you much faster. Peace with yourself kind of comes with age too, but not giving a fuck also helps. Gotta find that balance. Yeah, and I really think that another possible reason is due to the videos that I make. You know, you might think that I make videos to kind of just rant or like put out an idea and like have cool talks and cool shit to talk about. But I think making the videos that I make on YouTube, the video essays and everything like that, it also kind of helps me to a certain extent in like reframing the way I see things and exploring certain ideas. And for you guys to say that my videos help you guys see a certain way, it also helps me, believe it or not. Yeah, it really does. Because it lets me, it makes me, making these videos make me have to write for it and also sit on it and consider it thoroughly and really just critically analyze it, I guess, in a way. Because the way I make videos is that I try to do it through an objective point of view, and I also try to back it up with research if I can, or other people's opinions. And so when I make videos, I feel like it helps me too in that sort of way. No juniper pines and cedar are the most. Is it cedar or cedar? Cedar. I think it's cedar. I don't know. My pronunciation is shit. Are the most common types I've seen with apples and pears, but lost my green tea olive green. Aren't olive trees really expensive? Noira is looking to be educated. What are you talking about? I'm already educated. But also I'm a lifelong learner. I'd like to think that. I'd like to think that there is never too little to learn in life. Cedar? Alright, thank you. I've been thinking about that lately too. Because I've met someone at work who has like so much ego to the point that they think they know everything and they're fine with their current state of knowledge, and they aren't willing to learn any new thing or be open to many opinions other than things that are swayed by, if you can sway their feelings, that's a different thing. But this person is very what do you call it? This sort of person who thinks that they know everything they ought to know, and then they're not willing to learn much more. Ignorant? No. I don't know. What do you call that? But anyway, I've been thinking, like, why is a person like that? I mean, do they not see that there's so much that they could learn in life? Incurious? Yeah, perhaps. Incurious, that's one word to describe it, I guess. I mean, how is it that you come to a point in life where you just think that, oh my god, life is so boring, there's nothing much more to see, there's nothing much more to learn, when there is also so much to try out in life, there's too much to learn in life. You can never run out. That's what I think. Stubborn, high ego. Yeah, probably all of that.
Oh, that capsulized, complacent, that too. I mean, what? I do think it happens with age. Definitely happens with age. Where, because the older you are, I do think that you have a tendency to become more stubborn. You can definitely see this with, like, say, more elderly people, such as maybe your grandparents or your elderly parents. They can be more stubborn or have a tendency to be more stubborn because they're like, I'm old, I've gone through shit, I probably know enough. But I don't know. I don't. Is it supposed to be that way? You know what I mean? Because the thing is, like, it's not as if humans stop having the capability to stop to learn, you know? Our neural synapses can consistently build more new connections and develop the neural network. So technically you could be a lifelong learner. You could always learn new things. But why do some people just stop? I think it's more, this is really, I've been thinking about it, so like whatever I say right now is really stuff that I haven't really critically thought about. Okay, I have critically thought about it, but I haven't really done much research about it and everything like that, right? But so all of these are truly just my personal opinions. But yeah, there's definitely like a sense of jadedness and stubbornness and ego to it. So it's not as if like you can't teach old dogs new tricks. That's a lie. You can. But I think there are certain mental blocks that come with age, or at least at least we could say for the more elderly generation that we know about who are more stubborn. I think they're presented with certain mental blocks. Sheena, thank you for the hydrate. Thank you. Let me read. Ignorantly arrogant. I also know someone who doesn't like learning, and it baffles me because there are so many cool things to learn. Yeah, and don't you think that learning new things is really the spice of life? At least that's coming from my perspective, but I guess I've kind of always assumed that it applies to everyone else, you know, because it's normal to kind of experience something yourself and assume it applies to everyone else. I would have thought that curiosity is just a natural trait of everyone, you know, and that I thought it was quote unquote common sense that if you're kind of feeling bored, or if you're kind of feeling like something's not right with your life and you're kind of feeling shitty, then you try something new, you know? You try to learn something new, you try to find out about something new, you explore something new. But apparently it's not. I'm not saying this to vilify it or like call people out for not having this quote unquote common sense, because common sense is relative, and I don't think it's right to kind of talk shit about people not having common sense because they grew up in a different environment. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they grew up in an environment and generation that was just really different. Maybe. Anyway, let me continue reading chat. Because like you said, our parents and grandparents technically had gone through life, so they learned everything from their perspective. But now new generation have new POV and trends, etc. But that's the thing. I mean, the older generations still have lots of new things. Like, for example, technology. Like, learning how to use a smartphone. Technically, they could learn how to use the smartphone. It's not as if they run out of new things to be in wonder about, you know? Probably just haven't found their interest, and most people aren't too fond of learning more of the job they can just get by. Yeah, but it doesn't even have to be a job, right? Yeah, new interests, but do people get tired of trying to find their interest? Is that why? Thus they just settle and just be? I guess a lot of it is defensive or laziness too. Learning is hard, and questioning what you believe is harder. But challenges are what make us better, all of us. Yeah, and with everything I've read thus far, I do think that it's all of that. Like, it's the mentality of all of that that maybe was a little bit more instilled within the previous generation. That's why the current elderly, more older generation is a little bit more stubborn, because they grew up in a way where maybe learning was a bitch, or like they see no benefits in learning more, or they feel like settling is the right way to do things, these sort of things. Common sense isn't that common. So the thing about common sense is that you can never assume common sense. I've recently, not recently, but like a while back ago, I think I've kind of learned that common sense is not really common sense, especially if you consider that everyone comes from different backgrounds and everything like that, which is why generally I try to kind of avoid using that word, honestly, because whatever is common sense to me and my expectations of it, I think it's unfair to kind of have that expectation onto other people if they've come from a different background, different upbringing and everything like that, except unless it is the law. You know, if it's the law, then it's a different thing, right? Because if you live in a country, in a city, the law is pretty much, you know, absolute. Hi, old man windbreaker. To be fair, it also depends on your state of being. Nothing wrong with wanting stability, but that can easily calcify into being content with things you can change. True. So that begs the question, like, what do you think are things that could kind of spur people into just calcifying into stability and just being content? Like, what are yeah, I think I'm thankfully not in that sort of position yet. I still question a lot of things that I do, and I still seek to learn more new things every day and still try to improve as a person. And thus, that's also part of the reason why I don't have the perspective of why someone would want to just settle, question mark. And once again, I need to mention that it's not a particularly bad thing. It's just we're having this discussion out of my curiosity, right? I'm trying to understand, I guess. If I don't find a new subject to rabbit hole into every so often, I get melancholic. That's me too. I feel like I've had certain bouts where I've kind of just settled and just not bother with doing much, and after a while, it just ends up with me being sad as hell and me really wanting to change things a little. Hold on, I need to check something on my model. Something is working. Ah! I accidentally zoomed out. Sorry. Chitamate. Oh no, it's fine. Okay. Have a good one, Centipede! Everyone can learn, but it's a question of willpower and patience. Oh, that is a good point. Learning requires willpower and patience, and maybe for some people, their willpower and patience starts running thin with age, and thus they have less of a resilience to kind of learn new things or try out new things, and it's easier to settle. That makes sense, and that's totally valid. Us old folks stubborn, we would never. Not all old folks. I feel like it's certain old folks. For example, I have this elderly uncle who literally cannot use technology and cannot use a lot of modern stuff. But then every time he's taught it, he just forgets about it. I think I think a lot of you guys can relate, right? But then on the other side, I have this other uncle who's just very technologically aware, and he can use a smartphone like any youngling, you know, like any young person, and he knows how to use technology because he keeps on learning and he's curious. So there's like two sides of the spectrum here. When driving, gotta assume everyone else on the road lacks common sense. Yes, that's what I do too. I assume everyone just is shit at driving. Mom has Windows 11. For her sake, I want to switch her over to Linux. Oh my god, will she be able to use Linux though? I mean, it's good if she can. I do know about the benefits of Linux, but it's like, you know how usually for an elderly person, it's easier to give them an iPhone than an Android? I think it's a similar sort of thing. I haven't met a person I like who often talks about common sense because they sound like they're talking down on someone. I mean, I haven't really reprimanded someone or like called out someone due to common sense, right? I don't think I've ever done that before, but I've had some people say that onto me, but I've never really made much of a thing about it. But a while back, I saw someone on my Twitter actually say that saying common sense can be so mean because don't you realize that your common sense may not exactly be my common sense? Why do you have to be so mean about it? It was then that it clicked to me that it could be mean. Prior to that, I've never really given much thought, you know? Common sense. Then probably it just means that I'm just not good enough to have that common sense. That's what I always thought. But I've never thought about it from the other side where really the thought of common sense is just kind of to a certain extent unrealistic. Even laws don't make sense. Yes, I mean, I'm not here to question laws. Laws are laws. Do they make sense or not? Debatable. But I think when we're talking about common sense, I think the law is easily is the easiest common sense because it applies to all citizens, right? So if you live in a city, in a country, you should know the law. You should know the rules of the country. That is common sense. It's like, hey, if you hung around Moses, you should probably know the 10 Commandments, sort of shit. Or if you were there when God wrote on the stone tablet with lightning, then you should know what the 10 Commandments are. That's common sense. Inner peace, I think if someone is content with the current state of inner peace, they won't want to try new things out of fear of their inner peace being jeopardized. That's a fair point as well. And that is valid. That's valid. I think at the end of the day, it really is just a matter of preference. Though you can say that in the face of technological advancement, being that stubborn has repercussions. But I guess in a more general sort of setting, like imagine if we didn't have technological advancement. Imagine if like our civilization just stagnated, like, you know how animals just kind of live their life as if everything around they don't really have a need to adapt and learn new things, you know what I mean? Such as squirrels will always go through the same seasons and nuts and collect nuts and acorns and everything like that. They don't really have to suddenly fucking invent the wheel and learn how to drive a Ferrari. I don't know why I said that. So in that sense, so technically, objectively, it's not bad to be stubborn. It's valid. A lot of the animal kingdom is stubborn. It just so happens to be that we live in a civilization where there's a lot of advancements and a lot of changes, and that stubbornness has costs to it. And settling has costs to it. Yeah. I think that's what I think from the talks we had in chat right now. Common sense is kind of a flawed term anyway. Everyone's common is different. Exactly! But there is some general rules we all kind of live by. Living in the city, the common sense would be so different to someone from the countryside. Exactly! So be kind, guys. Not just in the sense of common sense, but also like in your general expectations of people. Be kind. Have empathy. Always remind yourself that people come from different walks of life. And if someone maybe happens to be mean or does something shitty, like a certain action, sure, it doesn't excuse it, and it doesn't justify it, but maybe the reason behind it might not be as malicious as you think. It might be because they just don't know any better, or maybe they've been too naive and stuff like that, you know. Once again, I do think that humans by default don't really try to have malicious intent, because it's easier to be a nice person than a bad person or a mean person. Like, I do think that if everyone, unless they have like certain neurological, psychological problems, I think that everyone would default to being a good person. It's easier to live a normal life than to live a life of crime and malicious intent. That's what I think. What do you guys think of that? Like, do you guys have a different POV from that? Because when I said that to a person before, like when we were talking about this thing, he said that you have way too much trust in humanity. That's what he said. Time being in stagnation rusts the mind. It makes the perceived effort, investment in seeking out new experiences much more expensive after a long time. Fair. That's fair. Boredom and desire to resolve something usually pushes you out of the slump of learning. That's valid. That's a good point. I really love your yap streams. Always such fun topics and philosophical questions, and sometimes no roach talks. No. But thank you for liking whatever we talk about on stream. I enjoy them too. I really enjoy these sort of conversations. So thanks for entertaining it with me, guys. Stubbornness and being resistant to change just in case new thing is actually worse. It's a survival mechanism, and that's very fair too. And hello, Scarling. Good morning. Hold on, let me drink some water. Why did my model twitch when I drank my water? I think it all comes down to not listening and trying to understand each other. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. That is so true. That is very true. And sometimes some people also only just listen to get it over with. Because sometimes I do that, and I've been realizing that as well. Yeah, so be aware of when you're listening, guys. Are you listening because you're trying to understand, or are you listening because you want to reply and you want to have a good reply? Or maybe you're just trying to listen to get it over with. Be aware of your listening, because it can change a lot of what you do. Like, it can really change you as a person. Have a good one, Sai. Happy holidays to you too. Like, crime isn't inherently bad, and some really bad things are entirely legal. Yeah, crime is bad because of laws and regulations, right? But I do think there are some what's the word I'm looking for here? Some inherently bad crimes, such as murder, right? Those sort of things. But yeah, of course, like, the matter of what's good or bad is, of course, a debate of ethics, right? But I still think that it's easier for humans to do things out of good nature than bad nature. The debate of good and bad aside. No, I think all instincts of human make us 50-50 evil or good, and that is a survival mechanism. Many people will only feel comfortable doing things which are considered criminal or dangerous. Oh, that's a fair point. I was recently reading... What the fuck was I reading? I was reading Sapiens, right? And they were talking about, like, how a tribe far away, I can't remember where they would actually kill the weak and the elderly. This nomadic tribe would kill the weak or the elderly, so that, because they can't keep up. Because you know how nomads live? They gotta go from place to place, and then they gotta hunt and everything like that, and they feel like it's a survival sort of thing, and it's a needed sort of thing, where if you have someone sick or elderly or even sometimes young and too young, you might have to just kill them or leave them. And is that bad? Question mark. That's an ethics discussion that I'm kind of worried of talking about on stream. But yeah, that's just to put some POV out there. I don't think we should talk about such ethics on stream. I've met some actually malicious people, so I believe most people try to be good people. Fair, fair. Yeah, most. I wouldn't say, yeah, I guess not all, but most. I live in the country, and last year a couple from the city's dog chased and killed one of the deer that visited my garden. What? They didn't even think how their dog would react to wild animals after only knowing dog parks and pavements. I want to say that maybe they're new to it, but also, that's so shitty, dude. That's so shitty. See, as much as I say like these sort of things, there are always like such edge cases that makes me question everything. I think you get back what you put into the world. Being kind doesn't cost anything, so why not be kind and put more out into the world? Yeah, I think so. And I do think that if you're a kind person in general, as long as you're not a pushover, you will generally have good reactions as well, and good responses. You know what I mean? For example, the way that I put it sometimes is that, let's say you're in a cab, and this cab driver might be thinking of malicious things, but then you decide to talk to them and be kind, and they second guess that whatever the fuck they were thinking of doing, and then they just not do that bad thing they meant to do. I do think that being kind can kind of reciprocate kindness in return. Yeah. DPD, thank you for being a new member on YouTube side, and welcome. You are officially our newest titling. Guys, can we get a very warm welcome, please, for DPD on YouTube side? Our newest titling, the Deep Blue grows. Some crimes are incredibly bad. Yes, they are. Crimes are also bad because the more they happen, the more the trust goes down. I also had this discussion recently with 3D Sun on the ride back home. We were talking about low trust communities and high trust communities and how different it can be. Such a good energy here. Thank you, DPD. You sound like you would fit perfectly in here at the Deep Blue. But yeah, low trust and high trust communities, or like civilizations, interesting stuff. Like how much different the behaviors of everyone else can be. For example, let's say that we're a group of 10. Think of the Deep Blue, right? Can you imagine what the Deep Blue would be like if everyone just didn't trust each other and was just kind of evasive of each other, versus say how the Deep Blue now? Sure, it's not the most trusting of communities, obviously, because we're an online community and we don't really know each other, but think about the differences. And I think it's a very interesting observation, where in certain countries where they have low trust versus certain countries where they have high trust, how the humans there interact with each other, and how certain processes and workflows work there can be so different. Also, talking about the Deep Blue, you guys want to know a random fact? So it's the end of 2025, right? I'll put out my recap soon. I usually do that yearly. We've achieved a lot of milestones, I think. Question mark? Yeah, I'd like to think we reached a lot of milestones. But I was doing my accounting for the year. I always do my accounting for the Deep Blue every month, right? And do you guys want to know? Let me double check. Do you guys want to know the total profits I've made from the Deep Blue? This is for you guys to know, like, the realistic income of a VTuber as well, I guess. Let me check. Where is it? It's so ridiculous. Oh my god. Do you guys want to know how much profits I've made? I have made, up till now, my overall net profit is $92. Isn't that ridiculous? What the fuck? That's how expensive it is to be a VTuber. A whole year, and I've profited $92. But this is when we're talking about like overall expenses, considering capex or like capital expenditure and operational expenditure. I decided to be very detailed with my finances. Okay, $92. But like if we wait, capital expenditure, yeah, that also includes assets. But I do think that it's partly also because I made a model. I got a model. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why profits ain't that high. Anyway, yeah, but VTubers don't really make much. Or at least I don't really make much. Hi Jackson, how are you? Jackson, you're on my #1 viewer on my Twitch recap. Thanks for watching me so much, Jackson. We didn't miss money bags. Shut up! That $92 is to buy me a fucking whiskey. Fuck that. I'm gonna celebrate the end of the year with buying myself some whiskey. Whatever remaining profits we have from the Deep Blue, it's for whiskey. Yes, it is. Yeah. But I'm not sad or anything about it, honestly. You get a lot of more happiness. I have! Like, do you see the community that the Deep Blue has become? I don't think I could ask for anything better. And I'm very proud with, like, the videos that I put out. Though, to be honest, I'm kind of worried about, like, my editing expenses because I'm ramping up my video edits and production for my shorts and everything. But I've been very happy with the content that I put out. And the titlings I've met along the way and the community that we've become in the streams that I do. I'm very happy that I did not have to make any compromises really to the way that I wanted to do things as a content creator. And I think that really is a privilege. You know, I feel like a lot of VTubers or content creators don't get to say that. I happen to be able to say that because I have a day job and I'm very thankful. And I happen to have you guys supporting me, of course. Whiskey, what about groceries, rent, and all of the unpaid invoices hanging on the ceiling? That's for your sanity to deal with, Mint, not for me. You can deal with that. Thank you very much. Get yourself 2 whiskeys even. 2 whiskeys? Yeah, maybe with $92 I can get 2 whiskeys, yeah. Gold whiskey. I don't know if I could get gold whiskey with $92. But hey, what I'm saying is that I'm not saying this to like pressure you guys or anything. Please don't think that. But I'm saying that even with that, I'm really happy. Despite not making much in profits, I'm really happy. And you know, profits and growth is not really the end to all. The end. It's not everything that matters. It's not my priority. It's great to have it, of course, but what matters more is the conversations we have. What it's worth, I appreciate you and everything you put onto the internet and to us. Sure, I have you in my ears. I do my day to day, but I still appreciate both you and the community. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you. Breaking even with initial investment is something to be proud of. Yeah, and that too, right? Yes, models are extremely expensive too. It's thanks to you guys that I've been able to kind of pay for my models without like going crazy in debt. You know? And I think it's the fact that I even made a profit is crazy already. Do you know how many streamers get to say that, how many content creators or VTubers get to say that they broke even? Not a lot. So I think it's an achievement. Definitely a big achievement. Still gotta send that crate of whiskey. No, don't send a crate of whiskey. You know, oh, wait, I'm trying to remember the name. But like basically a drinks company was seeking to have me as a partner for them, right? and they sent a sample like 2 weeks ago. It has not reached me. So attempting to deliver to my country is a bitch. We are happy to have you as the host of Deep Blue. Thank you, and I'm happy to have you guys as the visitors and the patrons of the Deep Blue. You dear titlings. Am I late? No, you're not late, Starkid. Jack John, super chat to arigato. Thank you for your offering towards the shrine. Now I feel pressured to support. No, I didn't. I literally told you guys to not feel pressured by it, right? I just thought it'd be kind of funny to tell you guys that, but seriously, don't worry about it. I have a day job. Breaking even already means a lot to me. That's what matters. And yeah, I don't want to burden you guys. I want it so that, you know, I don't ever, one of the reasons I don't do subathons or anything like that, or try to do anything special events or anything, maybe this is my copium so that I have a reason to be lazy, maybe, but I always feel like I never really want to ask for more without delivering the value, you know. I just want to make content and deliver the value of it, or like give you guys a sense of, okay, she's making good stuff, so maybe she's worth supporting. I feel like only then it makes sense for you guys to support me. Just like how, you know, you come upon a game and then the game is nice, so you're willing to gacha for it or like buy the in-game currency for it. That's how I feel about when it comes to content creation as well. That's why I always try to put out like content and videos and shorts and like try to be consistent with my streams, because that's really my driving force behind it, is that I really want to provide value to you guys in a non-capitalistic monetary sort of way. Truly just I like yapping, and I hope you guys find value in that. That's a TLDR. Buff Cowboy Hellhound Demon. That's a lot of... Wow. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. Jack John, now I have to give you a blessing. My blessing to you, Jack John, is that I hope for your holidays, you get to hang with family and you get to have a wholesome good time. And you get to tell us about like a new dad joke or something you heard from like your elderly uncle. What did I miss? I had to go to a gas station. Are we telling Noira how awesome she is? Nothing! You missed nothing. You broke even? You must be very strong. Yes, I will tell you that today I did a weightlifting session and I was doing overheads, and now my whole upper body hurts, and I also pull a muscle because I strained my neck, and now I randomly get shots of pain to the back of my head. Which I hope to get fixed tomorrow when I go to the for physiotherapy. And yes, I did weight training today, and I'm proud of myself. Oh, my whole body hurts, and I even had trouble washing my hair because, you know, my arms were just so fucking tired. But hey, I'm strong like that. Speaking of your model, what influenced the design? Obviously the whiskey is because it's the best drink in the world, but what about the other elements? The other elements? Well, I don't really get to show you guys like the full design here, but you guys can check it on my website. But the other elements, the short hair was accidental, because if you saw my... So this is my 2.5 model, I guess you could put it that way. I had a 2.0 model, which was a ponytail. When I was like making... adjustments to the ponytail with Kale, who is my mama, the one who drew my art and rigged my model. I was like, hey, what if short hair? And then it looked good. And then we just decided, hey, maybe short hair is the way to go. That's for the hair. For the ears, I've always just been a sea fox. And it was Kale, my mama, who said you should have a raging tidal wave as your tail. And thus we have this. That is the tail. which I hide mostly, so I don't give you guys like sensory overwhelming things, you know, you don't get sensory overwhelmed. But what else about my design? My tattoos have always been there. Ah, right. My haori, which is like my outerwear, I'll pull myself down a bit. Like that. I felt like it'd be cute because it's kind of like an in-between of being a shrine maiden and also like an innkeeper. Yeah, the outerwear, that's what I feel like about it. And this, well, I don't know, long skirts are just fucking sexy. So what inspired my design? Vaporeon. Yeah. Wait, I lost chat. Hold on. Making gains. Yeah. Here's a technical question. Is the website a paid thing? What do you mean a paid thing? So the website I made is Squarespace. I made it all myself, but I have to pay for, obviously, like the domain and the hosting and the website subscription itself, aka Squarespace. So I do have to pay for that, but for like building the website, I did it all myself. I recently just paid off like the yearly subscription for that shit. Yeah, it's Squarespace, guys. The website has helped a lot, but like, you know what? After a 1 year, or like maybe about like 1 year of the website being up, I just realized that I only realized like maybe 3 weeks ago that I never had my YouTube link on my website, which is fucking crazy. I've been always wondering like why am I getting like people following me on Twitch when I'm offline? And I'm like, why don't they subscribe to my YouTube instead? And now I found out it's because I never put my YouTube link on my website for the past like 10 months. I can't believe none of you guys said anything about it either. It was manager's son who caught it and he's like, wait, why don't you have your YouTube link on your website? And I'm like, it's been 10 months, dude, and you tell me this now? What the fuck? Crazy, man. Crazy. Hold on, let me adjust my model's head. You never noticed? Honestly, even I didn't notice. So I can't really blame anyone because I didn't notice it myself. Hold on, let me drink whiskey. Oh, I wish I could actually bring the whiskey glass to my mouth. Which is wild considering YouTube is where most of your content is. I know, right? And the thing is, like, I always like direct people to my YouTube rather than my Twitch in general when I'm not live. Because if I'm not live, you don't really get to see anything, right? I'd rather people see my videos when I'm not live. So I always try to direct people to my YouTube. And even up till now, I feel like there are still people who exclusively come from Twitch side who don't know I have a YouTube channel and that I upload video essays on Twitch. On YouTube, sorry. And I upload clips and shorts and everything like that. But yeah, this whole year of 2025, most of the new people at the Deep Blue have come from YouTube side. Which is great. Because I think like the awesome end game is that you get to stream less and you get to upload more videos on YouTube, right? That is my end goal too, maybe. Honestly, if possible, I'd like to reduce the amount of times that I stream a week eventually, because who knows, maybe I want to have a child, right? And if I do, maybe I might not have as much time for streaming, right? But I don't know, we'll see. I'll tell you guys when that happens. But like, one thing I can definitely assure is that even if one day I reduce my streams, I think I will at least compensate it with uploading more VTubers, more videos. I found the water fox on YouTube and then the website after, so that didn't help probably. Jack John, did you find me via a long form video, like a clip or a video essay, or like a short? How many of you guys have actually found me via shorts? I liked watching your YouTube videos. I like watching your YouTube videos when I get the time. Thank you for watching my YouTube videos. Don't forget the awesome covers. I gloss over my covers because I feel like they're not that good. So I don't really mention it. I'm not really a singer, guys. I thank the YouTube algorithm for showing me you are one of the best fights for sure. Aw, thank you. Definitely prefer YouTube from streams. Thank you, thank you. Do it as long as you're comfortable with. That's what matters, I think. Yeah, but I think one thing for sure is that I still want to keep streaming, but it's just a matter of how much time I'll have as I age, as life progresses, you know, because there are certain progressions in life where maybe I won't be able to stream as much. But I also think at the same time that freeing up 9, 6, or 3 hours a week shouldn't be that hard. I find you. Really? You found me via my music? Are you serious, Trees? I don't think anyone's ever done that. One random shot for me back then in January and February. Damn, so a lot of you guys actually came from shorts, hey? The loneliness pandemic video was the one that caught my eye. And I was already watching VTubers, so decided why not. Ah, I see. You have a lovely voice. Don't sell yourself short, oneesan. Stop it, you. Do you want something? Do you have an agenda? But no, I'm trying to improve my voice. I will have a Christmas surprise for you guys, by the way. I'll put out a Christmas cover. And maybe a Christmas karaoke, who knows? I haven't really planned stuff for Christmas just yet. But definitely one thing I've planned is that I'm putting out a Christmas cover for you guys. Good luck, Jackson! Guys, can we collectively say good luck to Jackson? Because he's gonna go into an interview in 5 minutes. Good luck, Jackson! Found you through a video about how performative we are culturally. Ah, my recent video essay. I loved making that video essay. It was a really great discussion. And what I love about the stuff that happens on my YouTube videos is that, do you guys see the comments section? There's usually a lot of conversations and discussions that happen there. And I usually don't reply to it because I can accidentally catch flack from it if I reply to it. I have had that happen for like a while back, and I can't be bothered with it anymore because I feel like there's only so much that you can explain via comments. Like if you want to propose to me a certain opinion that you would like my reply on, I think it's better for you to do it via my streams rather than say a YouTube comment, right? That's why I don't reply to YouTube comments, but I read all of them. I really do. And I love like seeing discussions happen. Unfortunately, as a VTuber, as a content creator, my attention is spread thin because I have to manage multiple social media platforms and multiple platforms in general, such as YouTube and Twitter and TikTok, these sort of things. And not to mention me having to edit videos and everything like that, and me having to pay attention to my IRL. So my boundary is not replying to YouTube comments. Regardless of how I found you, you became one of my all-time favorite VTubers. Thank you! You guys have no idea how much that means to me. That means so much because I don't stream that much, and the fact that I can be y'all's favorite, thank you. And with edited videos, you have a pipeline that supports you in case of disruption. That's the plan! Yeah, that's the plan, DPD. I hope that maybe if one day, maybe I can't stream as much anymore, hopefully somehow my videos can kind of make up for it. Found you on Twitch under my recommendations. Oh, you found me on Twitch. Nice. I first found you on Twitch, then switched to YouTube for the membership streams. All right, talking about membership streams, I'll probably put a membership stream up. I can't do this week, maybe next week. Hi, Red Samurai. My agenda is just to be supportive and make sure you know you're awesome. God, you're so wholesome, god damn it. If I remember correctly, I saw you on one of your shorts. It was probably about life and loneliness, but I can't remember it clearly. Talking about shorts, I'm gonna tell you guys now, but like as of last week or the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to ramp up my shorts production and publishing shorts. My target is to publish like about 4 shorts a week. So look forward to that. Look forward to it. And I really hope that brings in mayhaps new titling so that we can have even more conversations at the Deep Blue and good times, right? Well, so wholesome. Look at all of us like say good luck to Jackson. Good luck, Jackson, once again. I think it was the test anxiety video was the first one that I came across. Test anxiety? Which one is that? The 3 songs on Spotify all have been on my top 5 this year. Hope you get to upload more songs there. Oh my god, I would love to, but it's so expensive. If one day we make more revenue at the Deep Blue, maybe then I can pursue having more music on Spotify, because putting music on Spotify is actually relatively expensive. I remember in 2024 I used to put out more music on Spotify, right? We put out Sunflower and I Really Want to Stay at Your House and Just Be Friends. That took up like fucking... Let me see. I'm gonna open up my spreadsheet right now to see how much of my whole year's expenses it took. That's why I stopped doing it so much, because it was just so fucking expensive. That's not right. That's not right. Hold on. Huh. Oh, it was the previous year. It was 2020. Oh my god, 2022. I've been around for so long. But basically, one song on Spotify is like equivalent to at least 30 shorts. One song on Spotify. At least 30 shorts edits. That's why I kind of stopped doing it, because I'm like, what the fuck? Maybe I could do it later when the Deep Blue is bigger, but maybe not now. I'll prioritize like doing edits and stuff for now. Vegeta, thank you for your sub on YouTube side. Welcome to the Deep Blue. I was kicking around looking for music and the Final Fantasy VIII mix. Ah, the lo-fi Final Fantasy VIII. Lo-fi Balam Garden. My stupid attempt at making my first lo-fi song ever. Did you guys know that one of the reasons my YouTube channel has a lot of subscribers is actually due to that? I made a lo-fi remix, quote unquote remix of Final Fantasy VIII's Balam Garden. That's one of the reasons that I have a decent amount of views and subscribers on YouTube. The other is of course due to a Ragnarok video that was pretty ancient. So it's mostly those 2 videos. What if you want to propose to me? At least go out for dinner first. Yeah, I mean, go check your Twitch recap. See how many hours you've spent with me, Sven. I'm pretty sure that would at least be enough for a proposal for some people, right? Just noticed you have a D20 tattoo. I always noticed something new on your model. Oh yeah! So the D20 tattoo is something that you don't really get to see if I don't bring my hand up, but I do have a D20 tat. You don't really get to see my hand a lot now, do you? Or my wrist. It's only when I'm drinking, like right now. I'll be honest, YouTube comments are a terrible place for conversation. Stream comments allow you to be more time for nuance. Yes, definitely. But that's why I don't really comment on YouTube comments anymore. But regardless, I do enjoy reading the comments that other people make and contribute to the discussion. I enjoy watching chill VTubers like you. It makes me feel relaxed while going through a cold and dealing with an incompetent employer at work. I hope that incompetent employer at work learns to be better with your guidance? Question mark? Star Kid. I hope it becomes less of a hassle for you. But thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that I can somehow contribute to your day. We'll listen to them after the stream. My voice is not that great, guys. I'm still learning to sing better. I'm trying to learn to sing better. Trumpet, thank you for the gifted over on YouTube side and bringing in a new titling into the deep blue. Can we get a one of us for a new titling here? Thank you, Trumpet. One of us indeed. Spotify charge for uploading music to them. Oh, it's not that, Saviath. It's more so that to upload on Spotify, you need to have an original backing track, aka rearranged or like re-recorded. That means I need to commission to get the instrumental done by someone, and it means it's that, mostly that, and there's also licensing fees, but that's not the expensive part of it. It's mostly like having to get a proper new instrumental for uploading on Spotify. If you notice my recent covers on YouTube, I use existing instrumentals that are on YouTube and credit them, and thus I don't really have to expend money in like having to commission instrumentals. That's why I can put them out more, as compared to say having to prepare songs for Spotify. Hold on, I need to blow my nose. Give me a second. ちょっと待ってよ。Okay, sorry about that. Okay, I'm back. Have a good one, Cross9S. The weather is nice and all my neighbors are walking about the park and they are getting some secondhand Noira. Oh my god, wait, are you watching me at the park? Are you serious? No fucking way, dude. I was always like, what the fuck are you watching? No, I do not sing like a siren. I wish I sang like a siren. Sometimes watching chill streams that interact from time to time is a nice repression for me from doing things or listening to music. Thank you. But I also very much appreciate you guys who lurk, because the more viewers there are, even when you guys are lurking, the more, you know, a stream would get pushed via the algorithm. I would like to think it applies to YouTube as well. I know it definitely applies to Twitch. So no matter if you guys are lurking or anything, like the fact that you guys are here already helps so much. The fact that you guys watch through ads also helps a lot. That contributes to me as well. And the fact that you guys, some of you guys clip also helps a lot. These sort of things. So thanks, guys. You guys have been a great bunch. I always say this, but I feel like the titlings here at the Deep Blue are like the most well-behaved viewers you can ask for. The best kind of viewers you could ask for. The easiest viewers you can... Just an easy crowd, you know? And I love it. I was outside smoking and it's not a park, it's just my trailer park. Yeah, but still, you're exposing me to normies. Talented but unexperienced siren, sing more. I will try, okay, guys? I will try to sing more. And I'll start from that Christmas cover. I'll prepare for you guys, okay? A cheap lurk redeem? Does that help? I don't even know. I'll try to do that. I don't even know if that helps. What would a cheap lurk redeem do? I've actually watched your streams on my nitrites. I always get like, when lurkers say like, oh, what are you doing when you're watching my stream? They give like the most variated answers. Okay, let me ask right now. Lurkers, if you're here, would you like to kindly say what you're doing right now? I'd like to know. It's okay, you can just type this once and go into the abyss again. That's fine. We just want to know. Out of curiosity's sake. I try to be easy, but sometimes I like a little trouble as a treat. Well, aren't you a little rebel? You said you wanted more Normie fans? Fair. Fair. My boss also asked me about you. How did your boss ended up? What did you do to warrant your boss asking you about me? What did you do, Kurt? I think it's tied to the topics that are discussed here. That's why people who want to do some shenanigans doesn't have room to disrupt the peace here. Oh, that's great. I like that. I like that then. Stops Twitch thinking lurkers are bots. Really? Cooking dinner, studying, playing Where Winds Meet, working from home, lying in bed. See, do you see all the variated answers? It's very interesting. I think someone was like working. I remember someone saying that they were working their forklift or something whilst listening to me. And I'm like, bro, you better only be listening to me and not watching me, because you need to be looking straight forward if you're operating a forklift. I'm at work doing my relays, learning to draw faces, art stuff, chilling while on break, watching a Sea Fox Scotters, getting mental at my work, so listening in BG. For you guys who are getting mental damage from work, I hope it gets better and it gets easier as the day goes by. Good morning, Zakun. Well, remember you said you wanted to see your motivational posters at our work? Well, I kind of asked if I could put one up. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if your workplace had a motivational poster of me? Like me pointing skill at you, straight at you, and being like, skill issue. Oh my god. I really did not think anyone would take that seriously. What the fuck? Yes, he is forklift certified. Well, I hope that listening to me helps you go to bed easy, Kalix, or at least helps you have sweet dreams. Did you know that if you make Caesar salad with oil dressing, especially with diesel oil, it won't taste good? You don't say, Renjiro. How are you, by the way? Joke's on you, Mom. I got one eye on stream and the other eye on the forklift. Excuse me, please. Look straight forward. You shouldn't do that. It's not good for your eyes, man. You don't want to turn into a chameleon, bro. Hi, Sun and Sea. How are you doing? Welcome to the Deep Blue. No, Mom. I asked and permission was granted. So, what kind of poster are you going to put up at work? Please take a picture of it when you do get it put up at work. But what kind of poster are you getting put up there, Kurt? Oh my god. Imagine, guys. I have your mug on my desk. It's not a poster, but close enough. No, that means a lot already. You're exposing the normies to me, to my Sea Fox deity charms. Ice. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. You're almost like that Dota player. Ice. But you have a brown. How would you tell me skill issue motivate me? Did you guys know that if you procrastinate a lot and you feel like you can't do something, it's not because you're a lazy fuck and you should feel ashamed of yourself. It's really just a skill issue. It's more so just your brain not being used enough. It's more so of your brain not being too used to not procrastinating. So if you get your brain to kind of get used to not procrastinating, eventually you will procrastinate less. Thus, skill issue. That is skill issue. Sometimes it's not a skill issue. It's almost always a skill issue, honestly. Because that's just how the brain works. It perpetuates patterns and habits and things that you do often. So if you happen to be thinking about good things, then your brain will perpetuate good thoughts. But if you be thinking about bad things, your brain will perpetuate bad thoughts. So that also is, to a certain extent, skill issue, aka get good, as Aristotle puts it. Okay, I need to blow my nose again. I'm suddenly getting sniffles, dude. Okay, I'm back. It's kind of cold here. I think that's why I'm getting sniffles. It's been raining all day. Say no, do not say yes to the deep blue cult because obviously we're not a cult. Beached cookie. I don't know. Maybe you in Gojo post telling us it's a skill issue. You got a specific request? I haven't thought of any. I'll think about it. Okay, Kurt. Let's see if I can come up with something. We gotta have a poster that's appealing to normies as well. We can't just have it appeal to like anime people, you know? Okay, tell me, what is not a skill issue? Sure, sometimes it's a luck sort of thing. It's an RNG D20 sort of thing, like you hit a nat 1, sure. But most of the times it's a skill issue. What do you guys reckon is not a skill issue? Everyone knows forklift certified is the highest form of credentials. Yes, yes. Because with a forklift, anyone can get flipped and fork lifted and forked. Faulty executive order? That's a skill issue on the executive, isn't it? 1 million subs with one video? Oh my god, I fucking hope so. But 1 million subs with one video. Thank you for the sub on YouTube side. I hope that happens to me one day. I don't know why I'm a little surprised that there aren't any pirate-themed VTubers who thought of starting their own pirate crew with other content creators as crewmates. That sounds like a certain straw hat guy. But yeah, you're right. I can think of maybe... Oh, Shekai. You need to check out Shekai. Do you guys know Shekai Goto? Yeah, she's a pirate who recently started a pirate crew. So that's as close as you can get to it. I mean, all my coworkers are anime fans, so it's fine. I talk about you and the titlings at work all the time. They even all like, your new haircut! Oh my god! It's like flexing your new girlfriend. Oh my god, guys, look, my new girlfriend got a haircut. Sorry. But oh my god, that's so cute. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you. Do you have a picture of me in your wallet? It's like you're out to war and you have a picture of me in your wallet or in a locker to show to your friends and your other workmates. But I appreciate it. Thank you, Kurt. God damn it. I somehow feel kind of embarrassed though. Hazukashi. Driving, that's a skill I never see anyone else get better at. No, I'm asking what's not a skill issue, not what's a skill issue. Executive function not order. Now, what do you mean by executive functions? Such as, oh, suddenly you have an urge to push the vase off the table like a cat. Is that what you mean? Yes and no. If the executive function is a neurological thing, to a certain extent it can be a skill issue, according to neuroscience. If it's not, then it is not a skill issue. Be the friend you need is not a skill issue. Being 5'11" is a skill issue. Okay, height is not a skill issue. If it's like purely a physical luck of the draw thing, it is not a skill issue. Gotta love when you half remember stuff and don't know what part is true. Ah, relatable. Well, no, I don't, but I am gonna get myself a t-shirt of you for Christmas. So does that count? That's crazy. That's crazy. Yes, that counts. Oh my god. The ability to get things functioning. Oh, I was thinking about like executive function of the brain. The ability to get things started. What things are we talking about here, Sven? Like inanimate objects? or like procrastinating, like the ability to get things done or starting to do something. Birthplace is not a skill issue, or genetics? Yes, that is not a skill issue, I agree. Thank you, Jose. How are you? Also, that girl great metal singer, Cersei Soulstrom. Oh, she's so hot. Cersei Soulstrom is so hot. I love her model. Is walking into a room and forgetting why you entered a skill issue? Technically, yes. Yes. Because technically there are a lot of things that you could do to kind of prevent that, such as writing down what you meant to do. Or maybe you just need to get a better Sims operator. You know what I mean? Maybe the guy who's playing your sim is just... The guy who's playing your sim is having a skill issue. He made you forget what you want to do and just cancel your action. Good morning, Brennan. Starting a task. Starting a task is a skill issue, Sven. Like I mentioned before, usually one of the reason why you might have difficulty starting a task is because your brain is not used to starting tasks. Now, if you make your brain overcome starting tasks often enough, your brain will eventually get used to just starting it. For example, sometimes some people have certain mental blocks when it comes to doing certain things or starting certain things. Like me. Okay, this is the easiest example, okay? Back then, I used to be like, if I want to do this thing that requires a lot of brainstorming power, I need to be in a certain mood and a certain headspace where I can be in a brainstorming, creative, logical thinking mood. And I brought that upon my psychologist, right? And she's like, that's bullshit, basically. That's just a skill issue, she said. Those mental blocks are basically just you being so used to the fact that you had the thought that you had that sort of mental block and that you had to be in that sort of headspace when it never really existed in the first place. But you just did it so often that, or used that excuse so often that your brain thought that, oh yeah, that's gotta be it. Thus, a skill issue. And you can untrain it. You see what I mean? That's skill issue. Get good. Which is exactly what I talked about in the video about how I troubleshooted my procrastination. I unpacked all of that in my conversations with my psychologist about that. Funny thing about my psychologist. So I stopped visiting my psychologist after I think 2 visits or 3? I think 2 visits. Because I feel like whatever she told me, I already had enough ammunition to think for myself, and then everything made sense and everything was much more easier after that. The problems that I came to her with were resolved within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Sims operator is running a lazy bum challenge. Exactly. Also, I've run out of water, so I'm gonna have to BRB, guys. So I'll be right back. Yeah, please wait a tad. Let me refill my water. BRB, don't go anywhere. Be good little titlings, all right?
have returned. Tadaima. What did you guys talk about? What did you guys do? What were you guys up to, huh? Let me see. What is the spam of emotes? Oh, you started it, Calyx. Well, that's kind of cute. Yes, the shrine does have ears. How have you guys only noticed it now? The shrine has whiskers too? Wait, really? No, the shrine only has ears. It does not have whiskers. No, only ears, you see. Only ears. Yes, the N at the bottom has always been there indeed. And that's like an homage to my 1.0 model. It was like, it was a little thing that I had on in my 1.0 model. Arigatou gozaimasu. Nothing? What do you mean nothing? Oh, I feel like playing Where Winds Meet some more. Oh my god. To be fair, I usually listen to you yap while working, so I rarely actually look at the screen unless I'm chatting. You know, I feel like that's such a big compliment. The fact that some people can actually just listen to my streams as if they're a podcast. Don't you guys think that's a big compliment? I mean, I don't even think have I ever... No, to be fair, I don't really watch streams, so I can't say much because I always get distracted when I watch streams. But I feel like it's not something that everyone can do. That's what I feel like. Because usually when you watch a stream, you kind of want to watch the streamer and the content creator, right? What they're up to and everything like that. Especially when it comes to gaming streams. But the fact that a lot of you guys actually just put me on audio and listen to me like a podcast, even when I'm playing a game, I think that's crazy. You thought it was whiskers too? Wait, which part did you guys think it was whiskers? Which part? Oh, is it the middle part of the shrine? The red poles? Is that what you mean? No, they're stickers, they're bandages. They're not whiskers. I just noticed that they can be taken as whiskers. What the heck? Wait. Do I have whiskers? Wait. Oh, the top side? The ones next to the ear? Yeah, no, those aren't whiskers, unfortunately. They're just little decorative things. Visit a Starbucks I used to work at and the environment is amazing and cozy. I'm not really a fan of Starbucks. I don't really buy or visit Starbucks, so I can't say much. Like, the last time I went to Starbucks, I only ordered an Americano because I needed to have emergency coffee. And there weren't really any nearby coffee shops. And that was like 2 years ago. I don't really purchase Starbucks. Faircorn, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. Noira, have you discovered the pretty firefly skill in Where Winds Meet? Yes, I have. I love it. It's one of my... I love using it in dark places. I can see why people can treat your streams like podcasts. It's nice and it's cozy. Yeah, but I don't think I'm cozy when I play games. I think I'm pretty chaotic when I play games, no? For example, do you guys see me fight a fucking goose for 30 minutes in Where Winds Meet? And fucking talk to an NPC for 30 minutes in Where Winds Meet because I was trying to convince him to drink less? Wait, did you guys see that? Sun and Sea, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. Just saw this stream randomly. Well, I hope you enjoy the vibe here there, Faircorn. Noira has a very soothing voice when she wasn't screaming. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't scream when I'm having like Jazatsu or free talk streams. But when I play games, it's inevitable. Well, not. Sometimes it's not when it comes to no, even with cozy games, I guess I kind of scream sometimes out of excitement.
So it's unpredictable, okay? I'm very candid when I play games. It's not as if I could control how I react to games. So yeah, my gaming times are a little bit more chaotic. Those geese are so lethal. I know, right? I hate the goose, but I love how strong they made them. I know, it's actually pretty fucking hilarious. It's so funny, but also so menacing. Audience Among Us sound wild. I can never get a community game started here on stream. On regular streams at least, just because of what times my streams usually start at. It's like what, 7 or 9 a.m. for you guys, right? It's a public space that allowed them dominance over the market in America. They suck in Vietnam. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes they're like a nice option to kind of meet people for meetings. Because it's like, it's the no-brain option. Let's go meet at Starbucks. It's easy. Other than that, I don't really go to Starbucks. Obviously, games cannot be treated as podcasts, but yapping streams like this, they are crazy. Yeah, I understand. I understand that. But you'd be surprised. Apparently, some people actually only listen to my audio when I play games, which is crazy. Like, what? You just want to hear me scream? In a non-lewd way? Just panicking over great games? Cool thing, I live close to a Mexican cafe that sells hot chocolate made from raw cocoa. That they grind in-house, and coffee directly imported from Mexico. How is it? How does the cocoa taste? You have not defeated a single goose? Then I am better than you, Clarence. Time to make that a challenge. You need to one-up me, man. Your sea fox has already defeated a goose, and yet you haven't? You need to start questioning your values and your priorities, Clarence. How do you like your coffee? Black. And filter. Manually brewed. That's how I like my coffee. Noira free talks are my comfort place. Aw, thank you guys. You're fun to listen to when you game, because you get into it. It's always fun to watch someone enjoying themselves. When you cuss or talk shit to NPCs, it's always funny. Wait, you guys like hearing me swear in the early morn? That's interesting. That's crazy. Like to hear you yap. Yeah, but the thing is, like, when it comes to games, sometimes I barely get the chance to yap. Like, Where Winds Meet, I didn't get to yap at all, which is surprising because I thought I'd be able to yap more about like irrelevant things other than the game, but because I get to do that when I'm playing Hollow Knight, but not Where Winds Meet, man. Maybe they like hearing or watching your reaction to a particular scene of the game. Yeah, but they're not watching. They're only listening. How would they know? Like I said, maybe they like hearing my screams. I have specialty coffee shop nearby. They import specialty coffee and roast it themselves. Best espresso are cheaper than anywhere else in our city. Ah, yes, don't you love roasteries? I also have like a few roasteries around my area. They're all pretty great. But my favorite coffee for some reason is always like the coffee that I make myself. Because it's like the whole experience of making your own coffee and enjoying your own coffee. Even though my coffee can be like shit, but like I like the process of making my own coffee and having my own beans and everything like that. Gotta put up decorations and clean up for Christmas in a few hours. Are you putting up a Christmas tree? I am also trying to buy Christmas decorations because I'm hosting a Christmas dinner, right? So I want to make sure that the decorations look nice when my friends come over. Haven't beaten a goose? Get good. Noira 2025? Sure. That can be your motivational poster, Kurt, at the office. What's your goose? Haven't beaten it? Get good. And then at your stand-up meetings, you could be like, okay, guys, what's your goose today? And look at Noira, point to the poster. What's your goose? You haven't beaten your goose? Then you need to get good. And that shall be motivational enough for the day. Watching someone play a game I played before to see how he or she reacts. Oh yeah, same, I guess. Same. But I think for me, when I watch videos, it's more so rather than seeing someone react to something I've played, I prefer seeing someone play a game that I'm considering playing. Yeah. I think that's what I mostly do instead. Have you started building in the game? You can build in the game? What? I didn't even know you could build in the game. What are you saying you can build? Wait, what the fuck can you build in the game? I have not started building in the game. That game got you by the throat? Yes, it does. It's funny hearing you call everyone a bitch. Wait, did I really call so many people a bitch? What? Really? Did I do that? We were too busy to try to win the drinking challenge. Fuck that guy, man. Bloody hells. Oh my god. AI NPCs are so hard to debate against. I love listening to you grumble or cuss or say everyone is hot like in Clear Obscure. Wow. Didn't think yeast would be the bane of my existence in 2025. Yeah. Don't worry, 2025 is ending. Maybe 2026 will be a different animal, like maybe a lemur. Maybe the bane of your existence will be a lemur. We'll make it Saturday. That's very hasty, Kurt. I appreciate it. It's unlocked at level 25? No, I don't know. I have no idea. Like I said, I have gotten to level 45, 46 in the game where wind speed purely through irrelevant means. Like literally, I haven't been questing and shit like that. I've just been going around and doing fuck all. That's really how it's been. So don't be surprised if there are a lot of things that I still don't know about the game. Caffeine soap. Why would someone want caffeine soap? The thing for me is that caffeine doesn't really wake me up. So when I drink coffee, it's not for like waking me up. I mostly do it for the enjoyment of the taste of it and sometimes use it as an excuse. Like my favorite excuses are usually like you know, when I go to a meeting and I say something stupid and I get questioned for it, or I say something out of mistake and I realize my mistake and I realize that it's stupid. My go-to excuses are either I haven't had my coffee or what's my other excuse? I'm hungover. Those are my two go-to excuses when I'm incompetent at something, okay? I always say that. I remember the days when I used to have like morning meetings online. I would say, Noira, and they'd be calling me and maybe I'm kind of lagging a bit or I haven't really been paying attention because maybe I was playing a gacha game on the side or maybe I was playing Overwatch 2 on the side. It totally happened. Nobody knows. You don't have to tell anyone. I had a morning huddle meeting and I was playing Overwatch 2. I was like, oh yeah, no, sorry. Oh, I haven't had my morning coffee. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, what's up? You know, these are the excuses I use. I was like, oh yeah, sorry. No, I'm kind of hungover. So I'll get to that soon. Yeah, those are my go-to excuses. Good night, Noira and Chad. Good night, Calyx. Have a good one. I wish you strength in beating all your gears. You can do it. I believe as well. Thank you, Calyx, for the vote of confidence. And I hope you have a good time cleaning up for your Christmas decorations. And maybe even take a picture of your Christmas decorations and show it to us on Discord, hey? We'd love to see it, to get in the joyous, merry spirit of Christmas. Christmas is actually my favorite time of the year for no particular reason. I just generally love Christmas songs and the Christmas aesthetic. It's because Saturday is when I go back to the office. Gives me a fun thing to do between my proctoring. Fair, that's fair. I wonder how your colleagues will react to it. Facial expressions are good too. For a game where everyone is pretty, the game's cutscenes with facial expressions are still readable. Anton, yes, Anton. You like the taste of black coffee? Black coffee? Look, if you guys don't like the taste of black coffee, I'm gonna tell you guys this is my order. You guys need to try filter coffee. Or like V60 or manual brew, whatever you call it, whatever your local cafe calls it. So it's not using an espresso machine. It does not use a portafilter. It uses, if you guys have watched Tokyo Ghoul or watched like anime where they make coffee, like in Chainsaw Man, if you watched how Aki does his morning routine and he makes his coffee, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's how most Japanese make their coffee. It's using a V60, which is the tool, the apparatus for making the coffee, and you manually brew it. Like, it's also called filter coffee. It tastes more like tea. That's why I really like manual brew coffee. It tastes almost like tea. Have a good one, Clarence. Thanks for dropping by. Well, since it's about the goose, I will have to explain the joke, but I am fine with it. They will probably just laugh. Or maybe you could just put up the poster, get good or skill issue. You know, but then they're gonna think that I'm toxic as hell, when really, I try to be. I do not try to be toxic, okay? When I say skill issue or get good, it is out of love and compassion and empathy for you guys. That's how it is. Maybe you should make that a quote. When I say skill issue, it's out of love and empathy and compassion. I just don't like coffee. Now that's fair. We drink drip coffee. That stuff is strong. I mean, it depends on the beans that you use. Like when it comes to drip coffee, if you use a dark roast, then it will tend to be stronger. But if you use a lighter roast or a medium roast, it's not as strong. It's a bit more like tea. Have a good one, Penguin. Hope you enjoyed your time here at the Deep Blue. Lots of love to you too. You'll also remember I talk about you. The goose thing is too funny to pass up. Fair. Oh, it warms my heart that you guys talk about me to your colleagues and friends. That's crazy. I would never have thought that someone would talk about me, an anime girl on the internet, to their workmates. That's kind of crazy, and that's quite an achievement, isn't it? Coffee that tastes like tea. That sounds interesting. Yeah. But when you try it, be sure to pick a medium or a light roast. So then you can have it taste more like tea. It's okay to be a little bit toxic, like alcohol. Alcohol is literally a toxic substance. The thing is like, what is it? Oh, wait. The alcohol is lagging my brain a little bit. I forgot what I wanted to say. Sorry. You'll just have to deal with it and live with it. I wanted to say something about being toxic, but I totally forgot what I was about to say. God damn it. But I think what I was trying to say was something along the lines that, you know, I feel like I could be toxic. I could be outspoken. I could be involved in VTuber drama and have my opinions on VTuber drama. But for me, this almost sounds off tangents, I'm sorry, but it suddenly reminded me of this thing where I was like recently considering like, why is it particularly that I don't like interacting with, say, controversial topics or opinions, or like weird discussions of VTuber drama on Twitter or social media, or certain topics that I don't want to entertain. I was thinking about it, and as I made sense of it, I realized that it's because I feel like I don't feel incentivized to do such things. Like there is no reward in it. Like if anything, I feel more incentivized to just mind my own lane and be kind. There's much more incentive in being kind than being outspoken for me sometimes. Like, honestly, sometimes you can have opinions. I have my own opinions, but sometimes I can't be fucked dealing with the repercussions of telling someone of my opinion, and it's unnecessary, especially on the internet. What, you're gonna argue against these virtual people that you never met in real life, and maybe you'll encounter this once in a comment section. I can't be fucked with that shit. And yeah, that's why I prefer interacting. That's how I prefer my interactions, I guess, in the online space. I always enjoy my time here. Good to hear. Good to hear. Noira is never toxic, only a little salty. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, sometimes I want to say stuff and want to say opinions about things I see on social media or on VTuber drama or certain topics, right? But I really just don't find a good reason to. And I prefer not to because it's a headache. So sometimes it does make me wonder why some people are so opinionated on the internet. It's not that it's a good or bad thing. I'm just curious, like, why? Noira can't be toxic because she isn't a poison or bug type Pokemon. Yeah, I'm a water Pokemon, so I'm wet. Well, that does not sound good out of context. Anyway, move on. So it's like drip coffee. There's also cold brewed coffee, not to be confused with iced coffee. Yes, there's also cold brewed coffee. There's iced coffee, and there's also nitro coffee, which is kind of like coffee on tap, like you would have be on tap. Fun stuff. They all taste different. So you're preferring inner peace than talking about trends? I think in the online space, yeah. I prefer, like, a lot of the times I just feel like it's almost like the same energy that I feel towards YouTube comments. Whatever opinions that I might have to say about it that I feel like is worth saying just can't be covered in online comments and social media, and thus it feels like it's not worth it. It's not worth my energy. That's how I feel most of the time. Being drama free and thriving is more peaceful. I would rather you not get dragged into anything or clipped out of context. Honestly, I feel like getting clipped out of context is inevitable down the line. Really, I think so. That's why as much as possible, I do try to be mindful of the things that I say on stream, and constantly remind myself that I can be clipped out of context. But yeah, I do think that it's inevitable, honestly. Noira in her lane, flourishing, moisturized, free. I really like the content that I make, right? And I don't want to risk it over, like, things that are irrelevant to my content, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I would like to be doing this for a long time, and I don't want it to get risked or, like, taken down or something just because of something that I did that's not particularly relevant to my content. I really just want people to see my content and judge my content at face value for what it is. Conflict is good for views, apparently. Oh, it is though. It is. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's why. People do it maybe for the views, for the exposure, for the algorithm. I don't think for the life of me I could ever do that. I wouldn't be fucking bothered enough. I would prefer a slower growth, but with something that I'm more willing to just accept and live with. Maybe people like gossiping and stating some opinions about some drama are part of said nature. Yeah, but like the thing is, like with gossiping and saying things about drama, it can also be just said in private among friends, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be blasted on your social media for the public and everyone else to see, everyone on Twitter to see. That's a shift that has happened with the advent of social media. Gossiping is an inherent and natural part of human nature because there are reasons about it, there are theories about it that you could read in Sapiens. The TLDR is that gossiping is good for like working with groups and communal safety and security and everything like that. That's the theory behind it. That's why gossiping was important for the progress of humanity as we learn to collaborate with other humans and in groups of people. So gossiping is an inherent natural part of being human, but I feel like a lot of the gossiping that you see on social media really doesn't have to be outed in public like that. Or a lot of the opinions that you see on social media, I feel like doesn't have to be in public. You know what I mean? You might have to be outspoken about something. You might see someone who's very outspoken about something on social media. Sure, it's their choice or something, but my personal preference is that it does not have to be outed in public like that. I guess it's the same energy with like, you know, what we mentioned before earlier with cancel culture. How some things are really just meant to be for in private. Or maybe I'm just old and ancient as hell and I'm not getting with the times. Maybe. Or for clip farming. Yeah. Coffee on tap sounds horrible. So I recently had coffee on tap that was like a dark roast coffee on tap and it tasted like dark beer but non-alcoholic. It was quite interesting. Let's talk books. What's everyone's choice of reading? I only read non-fiction. I don't know why. The question is, when making content changes from stating opinions to bland toxicity. When does making content change from stating opinions to bland toxicity? I mean, being toxic is being negative, right? So when you get judgy and you start like putting other people down, that's, I think, when it gets toxic. And when you start deliberately offending other people and putting yourself on a high horse and like basically like what's good or bad, like what I judge as good or bad is like when you're not hurting yourself or the people around you, then you're good. But when you hurt yourself or the people around you, then you're doing something bad. That's my general easy compass of, that's my easy moral compass. And this can be like a, so wait, it's a little bit more detailed than that. So my moral compass is that when you're trying to determine whether what you're doing is good or bad, I usually go, are you hurting yourself? Are you hurting people who are within like proximity to you, like physical proximity to you, the people around you? Are you hurting the people who are closest to you? If you're not, then it's technically fine. It's not a bad thing. If you are, then if one of these conditions are met, that you're hurting some of these people or yourself, then maybe you should question it. That's my general moral compass. Mythos, thank you for the hydrate. You know what we should go back to? Secrets. I don't need to know all the crazy things people get or got up to. The internet made them far too comfortable sharing. The internet has also made people way far too comfortable being too outspoken. What happened to the days where if you have nothing good to say, then don't say anything at all? What happened to those days, right? Hi there, John. What did you miss? Not much. Not much. Well, I'm sorry for being ancient, Atav. I've never seen you with whiskey in your hand. Oh yeah, it's a new thing. I literally just added it. The problem with social media gossip is a constant need to one-up a previous drama. Yeah, no. oh, I heard X did this, or well, I heard Y did that, until things get out of control. Honestly, I'm quite unfamiliar with like social media gossip, just because I don't partake in it much, and often I just skip it. So I do have limited knowledge about it. Like I said, I prefer like these sort of things being done in private. If you have a problem with someone, resolve it in private. If you have a certain opinion, then maybe talk about it with your friends. You don't have to tell everyone about it, you know? Like, posting your opinions on social media, you can kind of equate it to say, I have an opinion, and then you post like your fucking opinion on a poster in the middle of the village for everyone to see in the fucking town hall. It's like there for everyone to see when it's really unnecessary, I feel like. Not that it's right or wrong, but sometimes it's just unnecessary. I do watch other VTubers, but honestly, you feel like the unicorn of the ones I watch. I haven't found a fun. Stop complimenting me, Kurt! You've been complimenting me so much. God damn it. Stop it. If it's not hurting, taking money or food off someone's table is usually good. Yeah, fair. Honestly, it's hard to tell sometimes if you're doing something good or bad to people. I think it depends on the intention. But the thing is, like, sometimes you can do an action but not have bad intentions, but the action can have bad repercussions. Intentions only... If you want to put it harshly, sometimes it's not the intention that matters. It's the actions. That's very harsh and realistic. Like, if you say accidentally... intention can only matter to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, it's the action that matters. For example, if you accidentally trip someone down the stairs, even though you had no malicious intent towards it, you still tripped someone down the stairs. Or if you said something and you hurt someone over it, it doesn't matter if you meant something else, like if you did not have any bad intentions towards it. What matters is that they hurt from what you said, and that is totally valid. You know what I mean? So you just need to take accountability over it, despite your intentions. Just got an unexpected job offer before finishing interview process. I hope it's for real and I can leave my current role. Congrats, John! Congrats! Guys, can we collectively say good luck to John Joku, please? John on Twitch side. Good luck, John. Good luck. Hope it works out for you. You have my blessings and all the other titlings at the Deep Blues blessings too. Good luck, John. Those days have gone indeed. There's a lot of intelligence involved with shutting the fuck up. God, he's writing fire, guys. Zach is writing fire. That is a good statement. But people would rather race to Twitter with their uninformed takes. I think it's because it's like in their brains, in some people's brains, it's like a battle between, okay, I could just shut the fuck up and not say anything, or I could get attention. And sometimes the allure of attention somehow overrides whatever logical thought you have over not saying anything. That's what social media has done, I feel like. And people are becoming very much more comfortable with that. With just being so outspoken and calling other people out just because they can. Remember this, too, social media is a really recent thing. We are the first generation to come into contact with it. Yeah. And remember also that we are the first generation that wasn't particularly born into it, but had a long, good exposure into it. Do remember that the younger generations are born into it. It makes a huge difference. As for the topic of being outspoken on the internet, I think having an opinion is not bad unless it's something really morally bad. That's why I have some issues with cancel culture. No, having an opinion is not bad. Everyone can have opinions and it's totally normal and valid. No matter how bad your opinion is, It's valid. People can have opinions, right? But it's what you do with your opinions that I think matters. Like I said, sometimes it's not the intention, it's the action, right? If you have an opinion and you decide to shove it into someone's face, then that's not really nice, is it? But then you can have the same opinion and just keep it to yourself or your close circle of friends, and that's okay. Theory VTubers I watch consistently, you being one of them, Noira, and you are by and large the most chill and relaxed, down to earth. Thank you, Zakut. What is wrong with today? Why am I getting so many compliments? What the fuck is going on? God damn. Hi, boss. Let me catch up with chat here. What is this channel? Welcome to the Deep Blue, Nyak rates. What do you mean, what is this channel? You stumbled across this channel. Are you not here to find out what this channel is? The rule said no trauma dump? What happened here? Nothing happened here. It's a general rule that most VTubers have. Because if you want a trauma dump, you can do it with someone like a therapist or something. Not me. I'm just an anime girl on the internet. I do not have the energy to entertain your trauma dumpings or help with your trauma dumpings, unfortunately. I miss not knowing stuff and being okay with it or bringing out the encyclopedia. Unfortunately, life goes on, right? Life goes on. Oh yeah, general rule for streamers indeed, not just VTubers. Just turned 26 2 days ago. I feel like I'm glad I'm trying to live my life to the fullest. Can we have a happy belated birthday for Rick Jazzy Roll, please, on YouTube? Happy belated birthday, Rick. From the Deep Blue and the Titlings. Happy belated birthday. Would you want to get insulted for a change or what? No! Why do we have to live in extremes and binary modes? Just be neutral. Rather than be 1 on 0, stay at 0.5. You know, we don't have to be that binary, guys. Shush. There's only so much compliments that I can take, okay? I have very low cringe tolerance. I don't know what to do with so much positivity. Happy birthday, Rick. And yes, thank you for the time check. Yeah, today we're celebrating a lot of things and wishing a lot of things today, hey? I'm happy. It gives fluttery feelings to my heart when we collectively be wholesome for another titling at the Deep Blue. You know, when we say happy birthday to someone collectively or wish someone good luck or just congratulate someone. I love it when these moments happen at the Deep Blue. I kissed Noira on the forehead. Thank you. Now you need a blush option for the model? Never. Never. You hear me? Never. Because that's kind of cringe. The only hope you have of seeing me blush is if you find art of me doing it. Other than that, I'm never gonna get a blush toggle. Just like the same way how I'd never get a fucking crying toggle. It feels weird, dude, to have these sort of toggles. I think in general, I don't think I will get emotion toggles for my VTuber model, unfortunately. We'll pay Kale to do it. You might as well commission an art of it instead. No, the thing is, like, first of all, I'm gonna totally forget using it, right? And second of all, there's something weird about experiencing an emotion and then pressing a button. Something about it that feels very performative that I cannot live with. Yeah. Cringe is freedom though. For you, maybe not for me. Compliments are a form of appreciation from person to person. No, it's not that the compliments are cringe. I truly appreciate every single compliment, but too much positivity makes me feel weird. Like if I get too much compliments, it's like, oh, I don't know how to react to that. Yeah, I don't cringe. I truly appreciate every single compliment. I know. It's just that I'm really bad with when it comes to too many compliments, okay? I will start swearing if you do that. Like some of you guys would have noticed. I do start swearing when you guys start complimenting me too much. It's the same as using emojis with a straight face. Yeah, and I don't like that. It's weird. Imagine investing hundreds of dollars on a few toggles and end up only using all of them once in your life. That happens quite often, apparently, to a lot of VTubers. Something so awesome if you don't want compliments. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Like, you feel they are not honest or you're feeling too embarrassed. None of it. I just don't know what to do with it. Like, I don't know how to respond to it. Like, I feel like when there's too many compliments, no amount of thank you is enough. Yeah, I think it's more so that. So I start swearing instead and telling you guys to stop. That's how it is. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to encapsulate it. Do you guys not have similar feelings? When you get too much positivity and you don't know how to reciprocate, so that you start doing the opposite, like me swearing and telling them to stop. It's not a matter of insecurity or anything like that. You don't have to worry. It's just a defensive mechanism in a non-negative way, okay? It's not like as if I've gone through some trauma. No, don't worry about it. It's just how it is. It is what it is. I start telling people to fuck off. Exactly, you know what I mean. I do the same thing, okay? When I get complimented too much and I start getting confused as to how to reciprocate or answer to it, I just say, oh, fuck off. Oh, fuck, stop it. I say those sort of things. I just shut down. I am not cute enough to do the Tony Chopper reaction. Yeah. Genuine compliments would have me blushing and kicking my feet. Aww, cute. Hey Noira, can you change whatever value in this simulation that prevents us from breathing water? Ooh. Why? Even if I did, it doesn't mean I would. Classic, I don't know what to do in response to the compliment. A similar thing. I don't get too much compliments. I will tell you though, I used to be a very, very bad tsundere. And not in a cute way when I was younger. I mean, the guy I had a crush with, and apparently he had a crush on me too, but nothing ever happened, thought he was cute. But me, who is going through all the feelings and all the fucking overwhelmed emotions and not knowing what to fucking do, it was not a good trip. But yeah, I used to be tsundere as fuck. So I used to like, I used to, oh my god, this is so cringe. But back then I remember I gave this crush of mine like a box of cookies. And he said, thank you or something. And then I just swore at him and just started complaining and stuff. And I started getting angry at him. I was a really bad tsundere accidentally. And it's not even because I watched much anime. It's just how it was, okay? And I learned that eventually I found it to be very cringe. I realized it was cringe actually when I was doing it. I did not like that I was doing it. Thus, I've learned to kind of slowly adapt with it and do better. Thus, you have the current version of me, who is not particularly a tsundere, but I still have some stupid remnants of it. I'll threaten to make out with them. Damn, okay. What do you want me to do? Just corner you against the wall? Kiss you, maybe? Ram you? Ram you? Oh my god, Noira, vulgar. Sorry. I meant to say ram you against the wall, but like I did not finish my sentence and it sounded weird. Whenever I get a compliment, I tend to put myself down to balance things out. I need to stop that. No. You guys, with accepting compliments, there is merit to learning how to appreciate compliments. Because I think if you don't appreciate compliments, and say thank you to it. It's kind of rude. So please, if you have problems accepting compliments, you need to learn how to do it, because you would like to show appreciation to the person who's complimenting you, right? The right way. Like I said, your actions matter, not the intention. So even when your intention is actually to show appreciation, but you have no way of showing it, then fucking get good, bro. You need to learn how to show your appreciation through actions by starting with, for example, thank you. That sort of stuff. Say so goddess vtuber. I never said I was say so, man. With the amount that I swear, I don't think you could ever consider me as say so. I double the compliments the person complimenting me. That can work as well, but make sure it's genuine. If not, it can come off as ingenuous. Yeah. Like, you know, sometimes... So I'm gonna tell you on a secret. So one thing that at least I do with my female friends or like female acquaintances is that sometimes they'd compliment me and I'd immediately find something to compliment about them. Like something that's easy to compliment about. It's like, oh no, I love your dress. And I'd say, oh yeah, oh my God, I love your hair too. That's just normal female interactions. Okay? That's me learning the way of female interactions. But I try to be as genuine as possible about it. So when you're returning the compliment, just be sure to be genuine about it as much as you can, okay? When Noira meant being cornered into a wall, don't worry about it, okay? Let's talk about something else. I'll threaten to do all of those things to people who over-compliment me. Then they say it back and I don't know if we're flirting or fighting. Yes. And then you guys should just fucking kiss. You're coming out with great motivation today. Don't like taking compliments? Well, take them anyways, get good. Thank you for turning it into a quote for me, Kurt. I now have enough quotables to maybe start a book. Maybe it could be like a fucking, the next Mark Manson, you know, the next self-help book writer, the next Malcolm Gladwell. Anyway, we've ought to call it because I'm overtiming and I gotta play basketball tomorrow early morn. I got some basketball practice and I swear my body's gonna fucking hurt tomorrow. So I really do hope I can play basketball despite of it. Let us call it, guys. Let's see. Let me bring you guys over to the shrine. Thank you, everyone who dropped an offering at the shrine. I truly do appreciate it. Thank you. Look, we have a large bottle of wine and a good bottle of beer in the middle. And also the dark beer down below. Thank you for all your offerings towards the shrine this week, guys. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. It helps me break even, and it's also going to help me fund my current efforts in putting out more edits for you guys on my channel, more edits for shorts and everything else. So thank you so much for your generosity towards the Deep Blue. And if you guys like the stream, wait, I need to cough. Hold on. And I hope you guys enjoyed your time here at the. Oh, why am I so large? Okay, wait, I'll come back to the previous screen instead then. I hope you guys enjoyed your time here at the Deep Blue. If you guys did, I'd appreciate it if you drop a follow if you're on Twitch or subscribe if you're on YouTube. And don't forget that if you're not on our Discord already, the Deep Blue Discord, then maybe this is your sign to join the Deep Blue Discord, because you can get access to the Deep Blue Minecraft server if you're subbed or a member, and you can hang with the other titlings, and you can have thoughtful discussions, not on stream either. You can have thoughtful discussions with the other titlings. We have a dedicated space for that. You can also celebrate your small wins with the other titlings. We also have a dedicated space for that. All the good vibes. And also, I share with you guys all my announcements, milestones, and notify you guys for like uploads and whatnot. So if you're not on Discord already, get to it. Don't make it a skill issue. The Discord is at discord.gg/Noira. And if you guys don't know, I do have a YouTube channel for you guys who found me via Twitch. I upload video essays and clips and shorts on YouTube. So if you want to catch me when I'm not streaming, you can also via YouTube. And I stream 3 times a week. That's every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's at 10 p.m. GMT plus 8 if you're in Southeast Asia, 7 or 9 a.m. if you're in the US, or that's at 3 or 4 p.m. if you're in the EU. And also, if you want to find out more about me, you can find me English, Noira, English. If you want to find out about, oh my god, if you want to find out more about me, you can also do so via my website at noira.me. Now, let me find someone to raid. Who shall we raid today? And then I shall go slumber. Let's see. Who shall we raid? Let us raid into... I'm thinking, I'm considering... I'm looking at my list. Wait, why are some people not appearing on my stream list? What the fuck? This is very weird. Let's raid into... Wait, is Yumi still alive? I'm checking. Yumi is playing Dispatch. Let's raid into Yumi. Raid, maybe it's Yumi. Thanks guys for spending your time here at the Deep Blue. I hope you've enjoyed your time here. And I'll catch you guys next week. But don't worry, we'll still have a lot of videos uploaded. So be sure to look out for that. Alright? Have a good one. Sayonara. And I'll see you on the flip side. Bye, tidelings.